Welcome everyone to the JK Podcast, the only podcast that doesn't eat apples right before the show.
JK, like, okay.
It's legit.
You need to plan these better.
I do need to plan these better, but it's legit becoming a thing where you're doing all these like weird like things right before the show.
I think it's a gag. Like, people like that stuff. People live for the uniqueness, and I gotta eat.
Like, I'm trying to think. It is a thing. You do eat apples before like anything to do with talking to help your voice, and honey helps your voice too. So the fact that you eat apples and honey is actually probably the best thing you could have done for your voice. But like,
see, I'm telling you, I'm always looking to upgrade the quality of this podcast.
But you did that completely unintentionally for the podcast. You know? That was your idea to get apples and honey for the podcast?
I will quote, hold on. 4 words. Do you know what they are?
No.
You don't know me. So there you go.
I'm Ken O'Connor.
I'm Josh Brandman. Hello.
And currently recording on June 21st, 2017, the first day of summer. This is the JK Podcast, episode 47.
And it is past Ken's bedtime, but we are here.
I'm not gonna lie, I fell asleep hours ago and just woke up like 20 minutes ago, so I am good to go.
Yeah. Oh man, so true. Apples, yeah.
Oh my god, stop it.
It's true. The man just knows his facts.
Today is the last of our E3 like trilogy or saga podcast. We'll be talking about everything E3, all the conferences we didn't mention in our last one, which was our Nintendo podcast. We will talk about Nintendo a little bit at the end because there is new information since we last recorded our podcast. But this is going to be about all the big ones, the Sonys, the Microsofts, the Ubisofts, yada yada yada.
Mm-hmm. Do what you do, man.
Are you, like, alive? You're, like, just not commenting at all.
I'm preparing myself. Also, I just searched E3 2013. It looks like you totally trying out the VR.
E3,
what the heck?
E3 2013? Why?
Oh, I mean, E3 2017.
I'm like, whatever. Did they have VR back then?
No, but, like, search E3 2017. And you know how Google shows, like, that default, like, picture on the right, like a featured picture?
Yeah.
I swear to God, that looks like you testing VR.
Wait, so if I search E3 2017...
I swear to God.
All right, 1 second.
It looks hilarious.
You're derailing the show less than 5 minutes in, but...
Everyone can search this. It looks really funny. That is literally you.
Okay. Kind of.
That is literally you. Just slap on a Capcom shirt.
The person doesn't... They don't have a beard, but...
You could have shaved. It's very plausible.
Okay, I'll post the image in the chat. Here.
I really think that's you. 100%.
There's a small passing resemblance, but it's not like...
If it was like that Mario Party mini game where you have to like...
stretch the face.
Pull out the whatever. Like, that would be like 99%. Not gonna lie.
Oh my god. Okay.
Yep.
Anyway.
We shall continue.
Yes. Before we get into all the news, I just want to mention our reaction video that we put up for Nintendo, their Direct, was like... really well received. As of recording right now, we are past 4,000. We're at 4,113 views.
Nice.
That's incredible, considering most of my videos get between 50 to 60 on a good day. This one's passing the 4,000. It's actually a pretty like good feeling, and our reactions were pretty good. I think the thumbnail had a lot to do with that too, because I used the moment that Metroid Prime 4 was announced for the thumbnail.
Yeah, thumbnail was very clickbaity, but I approve. And I mean, it wasn't like well, some people make thumbnails that are so clickbait, and like it'll be like a flash of an image or something. Like, it actually happened, so it's not like you're lying or something.
Yeah. But I didn't put like boobs in the thumbnail or anything like that.
Well, I mean, you were there, but no.
Wow.
No, but yeah, really, thank you to everyone who watched it, and it's been great. The only one problem is that it was not on... like, people have made reaction, like, compilation videos, and we did not make the cut on any of them.
Have you been looking, hoping that we were in them?
I was also curious, because I wanted to see those reactions, so... Because I was curious. I'm like, were people really freaking out? They were, oh my god. So, you know.
Is that how you know we've made it, when we're in someone else's compilation?
Honestly, yeah. Not gonna lie. It's a pretty good test. but unlucky.
Yeah. So thank you.
But yeah, really cool. Thanks, everyone.
Yeah,
and
that video did very well. I was happy to see that.
Hopefully, we can do some more of those kinds of things whenever special events come up like that.
Like the directs.
Directs or any other special conference that may come our way.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Nintendo's the one that really does the conferences outside of E3. Like, Sony has one in December. They do the PlayStation Experience. Microsoft, they barely ever do anything. They just sit there.
I mean, they have so many other parts of their company, so...
That's true.
I don't know. Oh, well.
All right. Well, like I said in the top of the show, this is our E3 recap podcast. We will talk about Nintendo a little bit at the end, but today we're talking about the big ones. We're talking about EA, Microsoft, Bethesda, Devolver Digital, the PC Gaming Show, Ubisoft, and Sony. So, Josh, did you get a chance to watch all or any of these conferences?
I watched all of them except for... I still didn't actually finish the Devolver Digital. I know the point of it, but I didn't finish it. All the other ones, yeah, I at least watched most. If I'll remember all of it to all the details, depends. But
believe me, there are details that you don't even need to remember because they're just like boring and whatnot. But
I've got some stuff up. I've got my Spark notes. Don't worry, we good to go.
All right, well let's jump right into it then with EA. In my opinion, EA was the worst conference of the entire E3.
You know, I went into it thinking that's like a lock, but I came out of it...
A lock for what? Like, just...
The worst.
Okay.
But, I don't know, after I actually watched it, it wasn't that bad. Like, it was okay. Like,
it was super cringy, in my opinion.
No, the only thing that was cringy was the one guy, which I made sure I looked up his name. I told you about it, too.
Yeah.
The Jesse Wellens or whatever.
Yep.
Who apparently does YouTube content. Mm-hmm. And the one problem with EA that some people have is, aside from always bringing on sports people to try and get people more excited about stuff, is that then now they brought this guy. They're like, well, he's popular. You guys like him. Let him talk about this random game that he's really never played. And that kind of backfired, where apparently a teleprompter didn't go properly, or he just lost the ability to read.
Yeah, apparently the teleprompter fucked up, but he was like, here, we're going to play this. And yeah,
and my name is
great game, and
yeah,
and the guy comes on like, "Good job, buddy."
It was kind of a train wreck, but I mean, I don't know. I mean, the games looked okay. I mean,
well, from what
I still think they're throwing money at a dead end with NBA Live 18, but I mean. The sad thing is the game he was supposed to be talking about doesn't look that bad. Like, it looks okay. So,
which one was he talking about? FIFA, or was he talking about Need for Speed?
He would not be talking about FIFA. He's talking about Need for Speed.
It was Need for Speed, yeah.
But like, that game is fine. Like, it's supposed to be pretty good. So, you know, I don't think they had a bad thing. It wasn't this one where they also did that co-op only jailbreak something game they showed.
Yeah.
A Way Out.
A Way Out. But here's the thing: A Way Out is being developed by the indie developer who did Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons, which is a beautiful, fantastic game. So I'm not giving EA like, oh EA, good job with the Way Out, because they didn't make that. They're publishing this guy's game. That guy came out, he explained the game, and he was awesome. But I'm not giving EA credit for that.
I mean, it's a shame since I'm going to reference a sport thing anyway. Here's always the thing. When, like in sports, the president of the team or the general manager, or the owner, all those people behind the scenes, it's like they get the credit when the team wins, but sometimes not even most of the credit, because usually it falls on the players. And the players are like, yeah, and they get paid tons or whatever. The owners, like, they'll be like, hey, good job to the owners. They signed the right people. When things go bad, everyone turns to the owners and the players, but mostly even the owners are like, this team isn't run right, it's terrible. So, I mean, I give credit to EA. They wanted this game. They put it out there. They're the ones that showed it off at the conference. You gotta give them some credit. I like the concept. I would never play it myself.
I'm not saying it's a bad.
You gotta give them credit for having it.
Yeah,
and I think that doesn't count against them or not at all. I think that counts positively.
Yeah, no. Again, I was very happy to see it at their show, but overall, like the EA's entire like the creator cave and whatnot, and the emphasis on the sports and whatnot, like that one cool indie game was not enough to save their entire conference.
No, Hannibal, but I don't think their conference was bad. So
Hannibal says in the YouTube chat, sports games are only graphic and roster set changes, which he's pretty much right. So if you look at the list of games that EA showed off, FIFA 18, Madden 18, NBA 18, like those right through there, Need for Speed. It's not a sports game, but it's another racing game, and they're like their franchise.
Well, sports games sell so well, so I mean, like everyone buys Madden. Mm-hmm. I mean, not me.
They showed off Battlefield 1 again, even though that game is already like a thing. And they're showing like extra.
Well, it was DLC.
Yeah.
I mean, Bethesda did that essentially. That was all of their. I think Bethesda's was worse. So if you want to say something about it, I think EA did okay. I think Bethesda was worse. That's just my opinion.
Okay. So. EA showed Star Wars Battlefront 2, which looked really good. The Star Wars game?
Yeah. I'm trying to think. I remember them showing gameplay of that. Yeah, I mean, it looks cool. Yeah.
And they end there.
That's why I think, like, people were excited for that game. So I'm like, you can't say they were the worst ones. Like, they showed some nice games that people were actually pretty excited about. So I think it was good.
Again, I'm not saying they crashed and burned, but by far they were the weakest of the conference. They were very out of touch with how E3 should be run. And I think that it showed. Like, when you throw money at YouTubers, like, oh, you're a YouTuber, go show off our game.
Well, that was stupid.
Yeah, but that was what their entire conference was kind of like based off of.
But they also showed the Anthem game.
Oh, yeah, that's what I was saving for last. Anthem looks fantastic.
Okay, so then I still don't see how you're like, well, like, they actually showed some good games. Sure, maybe their approach wasn't the greatest, but like...
Again, in this case, last place doesn't mean they crashed and burned, just they were the weakest of all of them.
Bethesda was worse.
I think Bethesda did better.
They were worse.
We'll get to them in a minute. What'd you think of Anthem?
Looked pretty cool. I mean, again, though, like, it looks like one of those games where I can't really take advantage of it just because, I don't know, we're older and stuff. And
what does that have to do with anything?
Man, it's like if you want to play that game to the fullest, it needs to be co-op.
Well, yeah, it is co-op.
Yeah, who am I going to play with? I'm not playing. Like, so, it doesn't work for me, but I like the concept.
You see, that game I'm going to play a lot because it's very Borderlands-y meets Destiny, and I love Borderlands and hated Destiny, but this looks like a good mix in between. The one that I didn't like, though, was they had, like, the fake, like, chatter during the trailer. Like, it was like people playing the game, and I thought it was like part of the actual game. And it's like I had to get my sister from summer camp. I'm like, what?
Well, they were trying to show off the
but they didn't have like people in the corner with headsets on. It was a pre-recorded scripted.
Because the sound's gonna get totally screwed up. Like, it's not like whatever. I don't know. Like, I think that's fine. I think the whole point is they're emphasizing play this with your friends, and then I'm thinking to myself, well, I don't really have friends to play that with, so I'm like, okay. Between the time and, like, I'd rather spend on any other game anyway, but, like, it looks cool, but it's not my type of thing. But people loved it. It looks nice, so.
Yeah. Well, you're basically, it's like a open world Iron Man game. You have these cool mech suits. The flying looked really impressive. Things like when he dove underwater, you saw like the bullets go through the water and leave like that like line effect. Giant monsters. Like, there's a lot in that game to offer.
It's almost take like the Xenoblade series and make it more hyper realistic. Essentially,
a little bit. Yeah,
That's what I equate.
I could see that. Yeah, definitely.
And also, Gabby, I see you saying NHL 18. Interesting, because that game is coming out in September, but they did not talk about it at all.
Did they really?
I don't think they talked about NHL.
Yeah, NBA, NFL, and FIFA.
But it is coming out, so it's really weird.
Well, wasn't the big thing with the sports games they were showing, like, there's that new, like, campaign mode now in Madden, or, like, a story mode?
Yeah, I mean, at least for NBA games. Well, not NBA games they make, because their NBA games suck, but NBA, like, 2K series, whatever, all that, they always have, like, a story mode, at least for that. So maybe it's new for EA, but, I mean, people love that stuff, so it's a good move on their part.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's pretty much EA. Like, not too much to talk about. Again, Star Wars looks really good. Anthem looks good.
I mean, I think this starts a theme, though. Like, I think all the conferences at least had, like, something good to show. Like, some of these, like, there were good games shown this year.
Oh, yeah.
So it's pretty exciting.
There was no one conference that, like, shit the bed completely that had nothing to bring to the table. Like, Anthem was a good surprise. We knew going in about pretty much every other game they showed besides A Way Out and Anthem, and both those games looked really good. EA just overall, their presentation just, I felt, was lacking and felt very disconnected.
Fair enough.
Do they not talk about NHL because it's not NHL season yet?
No, that's really not a thing.
They would definitely start hyping that up if the game's coming out. But yeah, so that was EA. That was on Saturday, and then the next day, Sunday, we had the Microsoft panel.
That is right. The Xbox Scorpio. What is it?
Okay, so yeah, let's talk about that one first. So the Xbox Scorpio has officially been called the Xbox One X.
That's right. What do you think of the name? If you shorten it, it actually makes Xbox. Haha.
Like, when I was looking at, like, Xbox One X, I was like, it almost like a palindrome to me, where, like, you could say it backwards and forwards almost.
Yeah. I mean, and there was one joke, I forget who said, I think it was IGN people. They were like, and some kids are really going to be getting the wrong thing this year for Christmas.
Oh, yeah.
When it's like, they get the Xbox One S instead of the X because, like, the parent heard them wrong or something. Like, I can see it happening.
It's really
in the same
too
token,
close.
It's like the same fault that Wii and Wii U had in a sense.
Yeah.
So it's like, uh-oh.
Yeah. And like, if someone in the store is like, oh, which one's cheaper? I'll get that one. It's like, no, but you want the one with the better hardware.
Yeah.
I think they should have just kept it Scorpio. I think Scorpio was a pretty cool name.
It sounded cool, but, I mean, Nintendo's even done that. They had cool names, right? And
oh, yeah, the Wii was the Revolution. The Wii U was Project Cafe.
Okay, that one's not as cool. But, like, they were at least... The Revolution thing was intriguing, and then they're like, the Wii. And I was like, what the heck?
The Switch was the NX.
Yeah, see? Okay, NX was cool.
Yeah, I like Switch, though.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense now.
Switch,
we're used
Switch
to
grew
it.
on me a lot.
But, like... I
was hoping they would take out I was hoping they would call the Xbox, like, so you take Xbox One and then the letters get mixed around and it says Xbox Neo.
Yeah,
so you're still keeping that one idea in the family, but it's a new and more improved Xbox.
Yeah, I mean, that way there would be less confusion on what you're saying. Like, no one would confuse that with, oh, you mean that console? No. Like,
yeah.
If you say Neo, then it's like, oh. Okay.
They're really trying to drive the point home that this is a more powerful Xbox One that'll play all your Xbox One games. A bunch of the Xbox One games are getting updated to run better on this console. Mm-hmm. So, like they're really trying to keep that point clear, which I think that's very smart of them to do. Like, if they start excluding people, like, oh, you can't play this game because it doesn't run on the One X, etc., etc.
I mean, because it's that new motto now, which Sony might break that if they actually come out with a PS5 or something, but at least Microsoft is now going on with this theory of, like, no more generations of consoles. We're just going to keep building on the one. That way you won't have to buy everything new again. You don't have to. It would be better for you if you wanted more graphics, faster processing, whatever, but you don't have to. And I think that's a good motto. I think it's a good approach going forward for them. So I do like that. And it's cool, though, because it benefits the people that want that higher power, because now they're going to be making games native 4K. Like, they showed, like, the Forza game. That Forza game looked really good.
That
like,
looked
the graphics
absolutely
on it.
Beautiful.
Like, that's the thing. Like, and that was native 4K. That like...
Yeah, it's not the cheap 4K that the PS4 Pro is trying to get away with right now.
Yeah, so I mean, like, it's pretty cool. So the thing is, if you can actually take advantage of all that stuff, wow, that's got to be an option, I would think. Like, at least something to consider. So
yeah,
pretty fun for those people.
My problem with the Forza thing was they took a big chunk of their conference bringing out a car and, like, look at this amazing Porsche. It's in the game. Like,
well, that was one of those where they meant well.
Yeah, like, they definitely meant well, but, like, really, you're trying to get me to buy a new console. Stop showing me a brand new car.
Well, I mean, like, if you like racing games, if you like all that stuff, and if you like cars in general, you would like to see that, because literally the whole draw was that it was a car never seen yet. It was one of those like things that they'd show at like an auto show of a car that would probably never actually come out, but it's cool thought.
Did you care about the car at all?
It looked cool, so I was like, hey, kind of nice. Like that's the thing. But like, I know like Thomas, I see him in the chat now. Like, he must have liked seeing that. I mean, there are a lot of people that like cars. I mean, I get it. So that'd be pretty cool. And the fact that that's the first time you saw the car, it's like going to the auto show without going anywhere. And you just look at that thing. It's like, wow, it's pretty nice. Like, people like to do that. I don't know, like, my mom likes that stuff. Like, So I think it was a good move on their part for those kinds of fans, because Forza is one of their biggest cornerstones of like launch games, launch title, whatever.
Forza,
so it's gonna be another
Forza always shows off the graphics too, like that Forza Horizon game from a while back. Like that really showed. That was a beautiful game overall.
Yeah. So I mean, like, I think it was fine. If they were showing any car just to have a car, I think that's different. The fact that it was a brand new car that has never been
Phil Spencer
seen.
brings his car on stage.
Yeah,
this is my car.
I drove to work, but I parked it inside. You want to see it?
It's going
to be in the game. Yeah, like, that's not going to do anything. But like, I think in this circumstances, I thought it was fine.
Back to the Xbox One X. From the hardware side,
right?
Nothing really new. Like they said like. They gave us what they promised last year.
Well, they kept what they promised, but they also then had a couple new things.
What they have that they had new?
They had the kind of new design for like cooling measures.
Oh yeah, well, here's the first of all, it's smaller than an Xbox One
X.
Right,
that was going to be my last point to kind of sum it up. But yeah, I mean, like, so you have these kind of intricate ways to kind of cut down on the space here, and then it in total becomes smaller than even the S.
Yeah.
So I think in that, like, technologically, see, this is what I was saying. Like, I was excited to see the hardware. Like, forget if I'm going to buy it. Like, I thought it'd just be cool. And I thought it was pretty cool. Like, I was very happy with it. So it was nice to see.
When they said it's the first console to have a liquid-based cooling system or something like that, that's compressed into the entire console itself.
Something like that, yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah, I mean, I think because... I mean, I think they have an advantage just because, like, their company literally makes stuff for computers, computer operating systems. Like, they know all about that stuff more than
they're putting their entire they're putting their entire like pedigree.
Nintendo licenses their stuff out to get NVIDIA stuff. Like, like Microsoft, they do the stuff themselves. So I think it's very impressive, and it's really cool. It's a nice piece of hardware, honestly, and I think the fact that it does 4K is pretty nice. So.
Do you think it's worth the price?
For the price point, I think the problem is with the amount of stuff they did. I get it. It's kind of warranted to be around that like 450 and up range.
Yeah, well,
it's 500.
Yeah.
I mean, that's considered up, but like it's tough. It's tough to say 400 for that because I feel like, first of all, their console started off at 500, the Xbox One.
Yep.
And then, I mean, I don't know. It just the cycles and stuff. Like, I swear, it has to start here.
The whole reason
in another year it'll probably come down to 400. Like, it just has to be that way. I think it makes sense, though. It happens with all technology, honestly. But for some reason with video game stuff, I guess because it's a younger audience, so it's sometimes harder to spend that kind of money. That it gets really scrutinized, but I think the price point's fine.
Well,
it's just the problem is at that price point, there are alternatives on making just a computer that's 4K with a 4K monitor and just run stuff in 4K on your own. But if you don't have that, then I think this is fine.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but you got to keep in mind also, this is the only console now with an HD Blu-ray player, where the PS4 Pro doesn't even have that.
Right.
This is doing true 4K, not the super sampling the PS4 Pro does. And if you think back to the original Xbox One, when it came out, that came with the Kinect, and it was $100. It was $100 more. And when they took out the Kinect completely, they were able to get the price point down to the PS4 price point.
Right.
So they're basically saying, like, this has more than enough power to warrant the $100 change.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's why I can't really fault them for it.
Oh, I'm not faulting them at all.
Yeah. So, I mean, but some people are like, oh my God, 500. I'm like, you look at what it's made of. It's like, you can't.
Well, think when the PS3 first came out, it was $599.
And I bought it. Well, not for $599. I bought the $500 model. Like, but that's a lot. Like,
Dude, that first PS3 was so shiny.
I have that one, the super shiny one that's also backwards compatible. Like, I have that whole thing, and it had like 60 gig, which was a lot at that time. It was on the higher end.
And now we're doing 1 terabyte. That's amazing.
I mean, I had the Xbox 360 with like that default 20.
Oh, you had the arcade one?
No, the arcade came with 4. that was like no.
That is,
and that was like 4 built in. Like, that wasn't like replaceable.
Yeah.
That arcade version was terrible, but I didn't go that far.
Speaking about old Xboxes, they announced backwards compatibility for the Xbox One, going all the way back to the original Xbox games.
Right.
So if you have your original Xbox collection anywhere in your house with the discs, put them in your Xbox One, and boom, it unlocks the games for you. I felt like it's very, very cool. It's a very cool idea, but you're trying to sell me on a 4K console. Yo, break out your 720p games and let's get this shit going.
No, but I mean, more seriously speaking, I think they did a nice job with not even answering, because no one was really talking about it much, but like the backwards compatibility whole thing, like they've been doing a nice job with that. I mean, expanding it now even more.
Way better than Sony and Nintendo, that's for sure.
I mean, Nintendo's like, oh god. But
Nintendo's like, here, let me charge you another $10 to play Mario 1 again.
And let's just not talk about Virtual Console.
Hey.
But it's funny. In the moment, I didn't realize that they didn't speak anything about that until it ended. I'm like, wait. But
well, that thing. I think in our after show we talked about we started talking about what didn't we get. We didn't get
all
this.
Of a sudden,
we didn't get that.
It dawned on me. I was like, hold on.
Where's Animal Crossing?
Yeah, but they've been doing a really great job with that back catalog, and that's the thing. Like, Xbox, aside from like the millions of games they were showing off, but like aside from that, they really did some nice kind of cleanup things. So I was really happy to see that. Just generally, as like a video game fan, like actually responding to people. It
was the best Microsoft has done in quite a few years. It didn't leave me like angry at all. They did a good job. They showed as many games as they could. They said 4K like a bajillion times. Like, they really were pushing their.
Yeah, I mean, they also, and to I guess harken back to the EA conference, they didn't try and do fancy stunts like that, bringing in random people either. They just the developer of the game just stood there, just talked about it. It was clean, just good stuff.
Yeah, I think the most gimmicky part was the car for Forza, but after they got past that, it was just game after game after game after game after game.
Oh, it was crazy. They just kept going.
They covered 42. They did 42 different games in their conference, 20 of which were exclusive to Xbox One, which is pretty damn good, honestly. That's a very impressive conference.
And I mean, even the games that we've seen for years, like even the Cuphead thing, like they actually put a release date on that. It's coming out late September. Like,
cannot wait for Cuphead.
So people, they're finally getting those answers too. So like they actually covered a lot. Mm-hmm. So I was pretty happy with all that.
What'd you think of Crackdown 3? That was one of their big games they were showing off.
I mean, Twitch chat was loving the whole.
Well, it's Terry Crews. Everyone loves him.
Yeah, that's what they were loving. I mean,
yo, you gotta hire him right now. We're gonna crack down some cities. Woo.
I mean, the guy's cool and all. He's funny at times, but like, it didn't sell me on the game. And then I looked at the gameplay and I was like, eh. I mean, I'm not gonna buy it anyway, but
It's weird. That game's been under like a lot of like revisions since it was first announced. Like, they showed off last year the idea of like the entire city is destructible, but like this year they didn't like show that as much because it's kind of like not in the game anymore. And like people are like, oh, could the Xbox One X not handle it, or do they have to like lessen it so it worked on every console? Because that's another thing. Like, they need to now make different versions of these games in order to work on every console. Like, they announced like the new Gears of War game that came out is getting a 4K upgrade,
right?
And a bunch of other games too.
Minecraft.
Oh god.
I mean, okay, they make so much money.
Okay, actually, Minecraft is a very big deal because not only is Minecraft getting the 4K update, Microsoft did the cross-platform thing with Minecraft, which
that is fantastic.
That is huge.
I mean, and that's not. Well, here's the thing: you're saying Microsoft, also Nintendo. The weird thing is not Sony. Well, that's the weird thing.
Well, I'm saying Microsoft because Microsoft owns Mojang, who is the creator of Minecraft. So at the end of the day,
so you're giving them credit at the end of the. Okay,
Microsoft is the one that said, "Yeah, we'll do this," because you just mentioned Sony said, No. Sony's being too hoity-toity and doesn't want to, like, have their customers in, like, the pool with the other companies.
Which, I think that's a pretty stupid move.
Yeah, it's a really dumb move.
But, I mean, props to the whole Minecraft people.
Yeah, you can
especially work with the iPhone app, too. I thought that was really interesting.
Yeah, consoles, PC, iPhone app, and Switch with, like, like, all that together.
Yep.
Amazing.
So I think and you know, what was the other thing that was Rocket League was the other one announced.
Yep, Rocket League doing that too.
I think that really is the future, which makes Xbox come out even more ahead on this in terms of the Xbox One X, because think about it. If it's all cross-platform anyway, most of these games, then it comes down to who has the best hardware. And if you want a home console, that Xbox One X is a really nice home console.
Well, be careful there, because then you get into the whole pay-to-win, yada yada. Like, for example...
Well, I'm just talking about visually pleasing. I mean, if you like the graphics, at that point, if all of them connect anyway, if you have friends that are playing on their Switch, but you don't need the portability, like, and you have Xbox, I don't, like...
I'm just thinking in terms of, like competitiveness a little bit, where, like, if... Rocket League.
Well, that's fair game.
If Rocket League runs worse on the Switch and on cross-platform playing, like, then it's like GG. I can't win because my console is just inferior.
Well, what's interesting though is that Rocket League was confirmed to be running at 720p, but at 60 frames per second.
On what? On the Switch?
On the Switch.
Okay.
Which the whole concern over that is the FPS. Because people have even said that from the launch of the game, and there have been patches and fixes on that frame rate kind of issue with that. And the fact that Switch is kind of purposely downgrading their own resolution a little bit, but the fact that it works the same, like, they are taking that into account. That's
great. If they can keep it like that, then that's fantastic. And that's
what I'm saying. Like, they're actually, like... I like this cross-platform thing. It's very nice to see.
Microsoft also said they're giving that 4K, the HD upgrade Minecraft to the Switch as well. So that, like, extra DLC or, like, extra graphics is coming to the Switch.
Yeah, I mean, they're getting, like, some whole even special than Nintendo exclusive version too.
Yeah.
But that
was really cool.
Yeah, honestly, there were a lot of good takeaways, I think, from the Microsoft one. I mean, if I had to rank them, like, they're definitely up there. Like,
we'll at the end we'll rank them all individually and then put them.
But, like, I think they did a very good job, and they're up there.
What'd you think of Sea of Thieves again?
That was a low point. Though, you know, it's weird because some people are actually pretty excited about that game. If
I had an Xbox, I think I'd be more excited. But, like, I don't picture myself getting one for this.
Okay, well, I think everyone can agree that it's not a console seller, but I still think it's a nice idea. It's just the graphics don't thrill me, the art style. And
it's an old blocky Rareware kind of like cartoony-esque look.
Yeah, but like that, it's like that in between, and like it doesn't thrill me. But then, just the gameplay, it's like it's okay. I would never sit down and play that. I don't know.
From what I've seen now from this game, like it looks like you make the fun yourself. Which there's no problem with that. I remember being a kid.
Yeah. It's just like I don't know.
I just want like I want to interact with my friends and have fun, but I want there to actually be a good gameplay and a good just something to play. I can go out and hey, I want a ship. Look at me. I want to ship my friends. Yay! Sail in the ocean.
Take a screenshot, post to Miiverse.
Exactly.
Rest in peace, Miiverse. I did like it, to be fair.
It still exists on the 3DS and the Wii U.
Is it live still?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. But yeah.
We also saw.
I don't know. I mean, we saw like a million games. So
I know. I'm just going over some of the ones that stuck out to me. The Ori sequel.
I mean, you apparently liked it. I didn't really see anything because they didn't really show anything.
Well, I haven't played Ori and the Blind Forest, but I know how good that game was and how beautiful that game was. So I was excited that it got a sequel.
Yeah, I mean, it should be cool, but I mean, we didn't see much of it. The fans of that game like it, I guess. I mean, they brought out a guy playing on a piano. I guess that was cool.
Snap on Tom 88 in the chat says, "Ken, are you even thinking of getting an Xbox One?"
Good question. Because you are the one with a 4K TV and not a gaming PC to where it's very easy to kind of build all that stuff yourself.
Correct. I want to build my game PC by August, I think, though.
Though, to be fair, to get it to like 4K level, that's pretty expensive.
Well, I don't have a 4K TV in my room, so
I'm saying like you'd first have to buy like a 4K monitor, and you have to buy a graphics card that can actually support 4K, which that graphics card costs like at least $500.
Really?
Yeah, like my graphics card runs ultra max on everything at 1080p, and that costs $300.
Oh, so $200 more 4K?
Yeah.
That's actually not that bad.
It adds up though, and that's 500 like baseline. Yeah. Like if you probably want a nice one, that's like 700.
Yeah.
But you'd have to look into it. But like that's the thing. Like you're in the position where you just have to then buy the $500 console. You don't have to then go extravagant on all that. You can actually just have that 4K experience.
Yeah, but like you said before, though, where like Sea of Thieves is not a console seller for you, they still didn't show anything that made it like a console. Like they didn't sell on the console. Like I want to play Cuphead, I want to play Ori, I want to play like all like those little games, like all like the little indie games they've gotten for like their exclusive side. I want to play those games, but.
That's the thing. The culmination has not made you buy it.
Yeah,
yet.
I don't need a 4K. And then like, oh, you can play your old Xbox games. That's cool, but I don't need that. And
I mean, also the problems that we have is like, and I know you still have that thing. Oh, it's apparently off camera. I guess it's a little to your left, too much. But like, actually, no, it's to your right now.
Oh, the big gaming thing.
Yeah.
Like, wheel, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like, we have like. So many consoles saved up over the years. We have so many games. Like, if we like really wanted to, you just literally take out that console, plug it in, put in the old game you wanted to play. Like, so we don't have the same problems that some people do.
At this point, my Xbox One would just become a giant Xbox library of games of things that I own and have played. So I would have tons of stuff to play. But like in terms of like new stuff,
yeah.
Like I'm trying to think if I went back in the Xbox One library, I would probably want to play Sunset Overdrive. I'd probably go play the Master Chief Collection, probably the new Gears of War, stuff like that. But like, I don't know. I'm just still not sold. I like the Xbox One X. I think that like that's gonna be the console to get for like the future of 4K gaming, which is also weird. One thing I forgot to mention that last year when they told about the Scorpio, they put a big emphasis on like the VR aspect of the Scorpio. There was no VR talk. Well, there was little things here and there, but it was quiet at the Microsoft conference.
Which I think part of it is anything they would have wanted to show is probably not ready, or
they saw the writing on the wall and realized VR, no one cares.
That's the other flip side. You don't know exactly where they fall on it, but I don't think that they missed out on showing it either way. Mm-hmm. I don't think it was lacking. No one was like, where's the VR? So the problem is Sony had the pressure because they literally had their own form of VR.
Oh yeah, they put out their VR headset. It's out there, so they need to support it. How pissed would you be if you bought the PlayStation headset and then come E3, we're not doing that anymore.
I mean, look at the Vita. They did that too. So, Sony Sony loves doing
that. The Vita they supported for years though. The headset has been out for like 9 months.
I mean, I'm just saying I'm not surprised. Like, Diane would not be surprised. That's all I'm saying. Oh,
I gotcha.
But, it's a good point that Hannibal's raising the YouTube chat. I don't remember, was the Xbox one where they showed off, the Microsoft conference, where they showed off the DBZ game for the first time?
Oh,
I think it might have been.
It might have been, yeah. That game looks awesome. It's from the company that did Blaze Blue or Blaz Blue, however you pronounce it.
I say Blaze Blue.
I've heard both, but Blaze Blue, yeah.
A lot of people said it plays like that other game that they make because Arc System Works. That's the company. Hold on, there's a popular game that they make.
Isn't it Blaze Blue?
Oh, Guilty Gear.
Guilty Gear.
They say this one plays like Guilty Gear. If you like that kind of combat, whatever.
Can we just talk about the animation for a second?
Looks cool.
It looks like super cool from the show, ripped out.
Yeah. Arc Sys. What? Arc System works. Nokia.
Yeah.
What? I got it right. I double checked.
No, I think he's just behind the delay.
Yeah, I mean, that game looks really cool, the DBZ game. And it's funny because then I watched the special like IGN interview with the people, and they asked a good question. They were like, "So this is called Dragon Ball Fighter Z, I believe that's the name." And they were like, "So it's focusing on Dragon Ball Z, or are they gonna please the fans from like other Dragon Ball series, like especially that like Super is like on right now and is popular?"
Right now, Super's getting all the love in Xenoverse 2. They keep doing every time something happens in Xenoverse in Super, the next day it's DLC for Xenoverse 2.
Well, they did say that fans of all parts of Dragon Ball would be happy with this game. It's just they could not say any specifics. So,
right now, confirmed characters, we have Goku in his Super Saiyan and Super Saiyan 3 form, Teen Gohan in Super Saiyan 2 form, Vegeta and Super Vegeta, Frieza in his final form, and Golden Frieza from Resurrection F. So even that's a little bit super right there.
Yeah.
Cell in perfect form, and Majin Buu. So it's very Z heavy, but I'm sure they're going to branch out.
Well, I mean, that's what they more or less teased. So I'm hoping for a really nice roster. Also, it also reminds me a lot of just watching Marvel vs. Capcom video games, because you get like 3 people on a team. I think that's like the default mode, and you constantly are like swapping in things, and people are teaming up, and out of nowhere you'll get hit by someone, and that reminds me all of that game where I never know what's going on, but I'll mash the buttons if I'm playing. But like I'd probably try and really learn this one because of Dragon Ball Z. But,
exactly. It's nice when you like the actual like source material behind it.
So I mean, I am hoping though that they'll put a nice roster with all the different Dragon Ball series, so we'll kind of see. But
I want Kale. Cool. I want Kale and Caulifla in the game.
Oh God.
Are you caught up, by the way?
Yeah, I mean, we'll see what they could do, but I mean, it's female Broly, but
yes, I love them.
It is a good point, though. You can't tell what's a cutscene and what's gameplay. It's so true.
I'm okay with that, honestly.
Because it's funny, because it's when a new person like enters the fight, like one of your 3 people dies. Yeah. The next person comes in. It goes to an automatic cutscene of them meeting in the middle, like forearms touching, like they were trying to punch each other or something. And then it breaks off, and then you actually fight. Like it's weird, like it's built in, but it looks cool because that's what they kind of do in Dragon Ball Z, so it's like...
Yeah, it's perfect.
It looks really cool, and the cool thing is it's confirmed, at least as of now, for Xbox One, PS4 and PC.
Yeah.
So, like, for me, I'm like, great, I'll buy it for PC. So, but even Switch might be in the pipeline. That's been rumored. So, yes. Good things might be on the way for everyone for that Dragon Ball Fighter Z game.
Yeah.
Looks really nice. What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say like the Switch itself, like a lot of games like I didn't think would be coming to the Switch are coming to the Switch in general. Like it's been like it's coming on the Xbox One and PS4, but we're also gonna do Switch too, like a month later. Like people are really making a push for the Switch, which I think is like a godsend for Nintendo.
Well, I can't remember what interview I was listening to now. I've watched a ton of interviews that they did at E3 on IGN and the Game Informer one and GameSpot, like all these different ones. But someone from somewhere was saying something on how it's very easy to develop for the Switch now, which, I mean, we've heard that as like rumors of like it should be, but like the fact that someone really came out again and said it like solidifies like that's pretty good then.
Nintendo's doing the Lord's work.
I mean, for once, as of now, until they unveil Virtual Console Online shenanigans.
We'll get there in a little bit.
But
anything else
also just...
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Well, just to answer the thing, because I was saying Vita before. Vita is a cool system. It's nice to have, but they really just don't support it anymore. But games do come out. Like, there is a game announced for the end of this year, I think, some other RPG, like... Great for RPGs, JRPGs, and random indie games still, honestly. So if you like that stuff, go for it.
Yeah, the Vita, it was a great console. It's just such like unsupported for a while, and then I don't know.
And now the problem is, well, now you have a Switch, and it's like,
yeah,
I like it better. So Yeah.
Yeah. Anything else you want to say about Microsoft before we move on? Again, not too many first party games really. It was Crackdown, Forza, and Sea of Thieves, and State of Decay 2, which looked okay, but they showcased a lot of things coming onto their console doing 4K, which was their biggest push.
Which Assassin's Creed, by the way,
did they show that off at the?
Oh yeah, that looked great. 4K.
Yeah. It's weird. Like I got so burned.
I mean, we'll talk about it more when it gets to Ubisoft, but like,
yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, I got so burned out on Assassin's Creed years ago. Seeing it again, running like that, and how they're doing it, looks pretty nice, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be on the fence if I'd really be the one to buy it, but like, it looked just nice, and it brought back the memories of playing those older Assassin's Creed games, and I was like, ha.
Plus, Egypt is a beautiful setting for that game.
I mean, it's actually a great chance for them to show off that 4K. So,
exactly.
Nice job.
All right, let's move along to the Bethesda conference. This is one that you were saying was the weakest in your opinion.
I think this was the worst one by far.
Okay, well, what? Explain. Go ahead.
So, I mean, they essentially just kind of showed add-ons or DLC for most of their games, because Bethesda doesn't have that many games, honestly, in my opinion.
Yeah, they showed Dishonored 2: Death of the Outsider, which is it's like a DLC, but they're treating it like almost like a mini game, like a DLC.
I think it's the finale to the series or whatever.
Oh yeah, or just a conclusion to the events of Dishonored 2. That looked cool, but again, it's just a extra story thing. Then they showed off a lot of VR. Here's the I feel like any company that went too heavy with VR during their conference hurt themselves a lot, because Bethesda had Doom VR and Fallout 4 VR and Skyrim VR.
Yeah, I mean, they are milking the Skyrim thing forever, but the Fallout VR, that looked pretty cool.
I don't know. I mean, VR just never looks good to me. It looks
cool. Like, I think VR is cool stuff. It's just the amount of money to put down for it. I don't think it's worth it. I don't know.
Yeah. They showed off more Elder Scrolls Legends and Online, which good for those games. They're
not that popular, but yeah.
Evil Within 2 was great.
I mean, it doesn't thrill me. Like, it's not my type of game.
I like those kind of horror mind fucky games. So,
I mean, I don't like those games at all. Like, I think those terrify me. I'm not about that life. Mm-hmm. So,
they showed off more stuff for Quake Champions, which good for Quake. Wolfenstein 2: The New Colossus, that looked pretty cool.
Look cool, I guess.
The Nazis won, and now they want milkshakes.
Hey, man. That's the predicament now, because you know they have the crack open a cold one or whatever with the boys.
I love that meme so much.
But now here's the problem. I saw this meme the other day. I thought it was hilarious. If you put a milkshake in one yard and a cold one in another, where do the boys go? I think that's the greatest question.
Oh my god, I love that.
So that one's to be determined, but I don't know what the point was with that, but I don't know, but that's they were okay, I guess. But like,
what'd you think?
If you like, okay, here's the thing: if you like Bethesda games and you somehow wanted more Skyrim, or you wanted like more Fallout, or you just like their other games, then you might have thought, hey, it's pretty cool. But like, did literally nothing for me, honestly.
What'd you think of the idea of the Creation Club they're trying to sell you on? This is their way of doing paid mods in their games. They start out with just Skyrim and Fallout 4 is what they're starting with.
I mean, I get it, because basically with that, it'll be moderated, because they've had so many problems. Like, there was a whole thing about GTA 5 having all of their mods taken down now.
Yep.
And they're kind of almost going to re-release them or kind of rework that whole system, because kind of inappropriate things or whatever people have been doing, and it's not really kept in check until it's too late, kind of deal. And so I think this makes sense from definitely a legal standpoint. I think in terms of like a player's perspective, it's kind of very annoying and very limiting.
Well, that's here's the thing. Would you pay for a mod?
See, I'm never one to like mods. Like,
Yeah,
you even put on the mod for like Stardew Valley or something. I did not want to mess with that formula. I was just like, I want to play. Like, I don't like to. I'm that guy in Pokemon that I don't nickname any Pokemon because I want their original name. I don't mess around with that. Like, I like to keep everything like pristine in order, not
the
touching,
way the developers want us to experience their games,
more or less. So I mean, like, so mods don't really thrill me, but people like live for those. Some people, so I get it. I think some people would definitely pay for it. I mean, depends what the price is, but yeah.
Yeah. Like the one they showed off, like, these crabs are golden now. Like, I wouldn't pay for a golden crab.
Hey, man. You never know.
Yeah.
Yo, that's right. No nicknames. I see you. I really don't nickname anything.
I like the way Bethesda's had their conference, though. Like, they had this entire, like, theme of, like, it's an amusement park, and you're going to, like, Bethesda Land.
I mean, it literally reminded me of, like, a Fallout 4 thing. Like, if they just put the picture of the Vault Boy, like...
Oh yeah, very cheesy. Like, hey, this is the land of Bethesda, where you got your stuff.
I mean, Fallout's like known for that. They're like fun, weird things, and like you get killed. Like, it's a very weird parallel, and like it looked exactly like that. So it was in that theme, and you like that stuff. So there you go. I mean, for me, I was like, eh.
And during the Bethesda conference, we also saw the first showing off of Skyrim on the Switch.
Right.
And
which
it supports the Breath of the Wild amiibo.
Right, which we talked about on the Nintendo one. I mean, it's basically like...
he looks like a chunky cosplayer.
It's like a cosplayer, because it just looks like you have stuff that looks really close to Link, and I'm just going to wear it and run around. But, like, it's kind of cool. I mean, if you're going to buy it anyway, chances are you probably have some Zelda amiibo. I don't know. So, it's a nice little throw-in. It doesn't take much for them to put that in, so, I mean... I don't care, really. I don't know.
Yeah, and now they also confirmed that the motion controls will be in Skyrim as well.
Which, I mean, sure. I mean, some people really do like motion stuff. I mean,
yeah, and I think for Skyrim, it doesn't have to be that accurate. Like, so I think it works pretty well for the Switch.
Well, you know what's hilarious, though? In their trailer showing it for the Switch, the guy was swinging the sword with the motion stuff. He did not actually connect with the enemy all 3 sword swipes, which I don't know if that was like a glitch, because it looked like he hit him, but like the hit didn't go through. It was weird. But yeah, I mean, people love it. I feel like it's so easy to program too with that stuff.
Oh, really?
To a point. What?
Oh, that's easy to program motion controls in?
Yeah. I don't know what you said.
I said, oh, really now? As in, like, is it really that easy to put it in?
Yeah, I mean, I think so. I mean, it's been around for a while now with motion in various forms. So, I mean, of course it takes time, but it's not something unheard of. So, like, spend some extra time, put it in, like, there's nothing wrong with that. So
now I'm looking now back at EA and trying to, like, compare these two, because these two are by far, I think, the wicked, PC gaming show, lol. But,
I mean, the problem is that one's always expected, so like,
yeah,
they get a pass.
I still feel like Bethesda showed. I think maybe because they showed a little more that I was into. Like, even
that's the thing. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, it didn't interest me at all. Like, so like, I just didn't.
Yeah, like, I'm interested in Evil Within 2. I'm interested in Wolfenstein 2. I'm interested in Zelda. I like seeing the new Dishonored stuff. So all that is good. And I go back to EA. It's sports.
I mean, you're not the sports man, so you know, like, it makes sense. I get it.
They're definitely close in terms of like surprise. I don't know. We'll get back to the ranking at the very end, but those two are actually a lot closer than I previously thought. All right. Anything else from Bethesda? Or should we go on to Devolver Digital?
Let us move on.
Devolver Digital won E3.
JK.
There we go.
Yeah. You should have said that as the intro thing, man.
But at the same time, you could say that they did kind of win E3. So
I mean, the social justice warriors out there would probably say yes, they won, hands down.
Social justice warriors? The fuck are you talking about?
Hands down.
Anyway, I did not watch this one live. I watched it the next morning because like this one was like streamed online really late our time,
and only like also 15 minutes or something, right?
Well, that's the thing. The time they didn't say how long it was going to be. They like when this was coming out, it was like framed as an actual conference, like a 2-hour long conference, yada yada. That's what everyone thought it was going to be. The next day I wake up and I realize, and there's the story like, oh, the Devolver Digital Conference is only 15 minutes long, and it's the best thing you'll see at E3 this week. I'm like, wait, what? And that's what it is. It was an Adult Swim-esque, like, kind of conference that made fun of what everything E3 has become. The woman walks out right away, shoots a gun into the air, like, stop clapping, you're journalists and professionalisms, you should not be, like, favoriting, like, things like that. Like, it's all very true. All the commentary they had, like, pre-ordering, like, the pre-ordering, and, like, the best beta systems and stuff like that. Like, that's a hyper-realistic version of what's happening at these conferences. I thought it was genius.
I mean, it was funny from the few minutes I actually watched, but
like there's a part where like they invented a new system where you can throw money at your screen to pay for games, and like the guy, like you in the audience, come up and he's like throwing money at the screen, and his hand gets sucked to the screen, and he's just squirting blood everywhere. Like, ah, yes, the true innovation of gaming, giving us your money now for like nothing. Like by the end, like their heads explode, and like it just like it breaks down to absolute chaos. But meanwhile, they're doing all this, but inside like that little sketch, they're showing like actual games coming out on like their consoles, like Enter the Gungeon coming to Switch and whatnot.
Right. So that was the funny thing. So like, it was legit at the same time. So I don't know. I mean, the games looked okay, I guess. I mean, again, not really games that thrill me much.
Well, yeah, Devolver Digital. Again, we talked about this during the our pre-E3 show. Like, we're like, what? Why is Devolver Digital here? Why are they doing a conference? Like, it makes like little to no sense.
But hey, I mean, I give them credit. Now they made noise. So.
Yeah, they made noise. Their games are out there a little bit more, and good on them, honestly. Yeah. Ruiner and Serious Sam look good. Like, they showed some good stuff.
Yeah.
Again, I don't know if we can fairly rank them among the others because. It's one big just meta joke, but
yeah, I mean, yeah, we'll deal with that later.
Yep. Intel had a conference. No one cares.
I didn't even know they had a conference until I just checked.
Yeah, it was something stupid. PC gaming show.
I love that guy.
The host who does it all.
Just looked up his name. Sean Plott.
Yeah.
I think he's so funny. Like, because he looks like that guy that, like, he would maybe sit down and play a game, but really not be good at it. I don't know, but, like, he was apparently really good at StarCraft.
Yeah, that's what he's known for.
So, but yeah. But,
I get exactly what you mean, though.
Yeah, but I mean, they showed what I thought they'd show, basically, like either similar stuff to what we already know or stuff that was shown earlier, or just like...
Yeah, the PC game show is just a big recap with like, hey, look at this new technology running this game you saw earlier on it.
I mean, that's the thing, because like a lot of these games are also for the PC, so they're just like, okay, here they are again, and we want you to buy these games here. Even though like PC gaming show, like they're not really like it's not like a company, it's like a PC, so it's like a weird show, honestly. But I don't know, it was fine, I guess. I tuned in and out of it. Watched it every now and again. I was busy like doing work as it was going on, so I was like tuning it on, I'm like and then I turned it off. But it was fine. I don't know, it was okay. So I don't really have too much to say on it.
Yeah. Let's move right along then.
Sure.
Ubisoft.
Ubi. Day 9.
No, that's something else he's talking about.
Is he Day 9?
No, he got someone mixed up. I know who Day 9 is though.
Yeah. Anyway, Ubisoft, the French company.
Yes.
Yeah.
This,
so for starters, was the guy, the president guy, whatever, greatest guy ever. Yeah. He's rivaled to Reggie now.
Oh, really? That's some big words.
No, I don't seriously mean that.
Okay. But I'm like, wow.
No, but he's pretty cool. He tries to speak English, and I think it works. But yeah. But anyway, yes.
Yeah. Ubisoft, in my opinion, was one of the strongest conferences we got out of the entire E3. And
I would agree.
they came right out of the gate with Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle, which you were immediately taken by.
I literally, because I was doing work, and I knew the conference was about to start, and I was like, oh, whatever. And then in one of my group chat things with some college friends, one of them who was watching it, he started freaking out over this game. He's like, oh my god, this looks so cool. So I'm like, oh my god. So I opened it up, I started watching, I was like, wow, this is really good. And it just looks so cool, all the tactics stuff, and with the Mario characters, it just looked nice too. And I like the strategy.
It's a family-friendly XCOM with Nintendo characters thrown in, and also a lot of humor, a lot of customization, a lot of skill. I
literally reserved the game or pre-ordered it right after their conference.
Nice.
So, I mean, I really do. I'm excited for it. So
yeah, I was happy.
That was a great
I was happy it turned out as good as I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be more Fire Emblem-y a little bit from what the early leaks and whatnot. But I'm so glad it's more of an XCOM approach. It just looks so good, and there's so much love and care, and just all the story and the developer stuff that came out afterwards, where the developer said he made this game, brought it to Miyamoto, and showed him it, and Miyamoto's like, this is amazing. Yes, you can do you can do this game. He had to sell Miyamoto on the idea, and then they had Miyamoto come out on stage with him, they're holding the guns together back and forth. It was just a really just nice moment.
It was a good photo op.
It was a great photo op. Well, you gotta think, Nintendo hasn't had a stage presence at E3 now for a couple of years. That's the first time Miyamoto's been on an E3 stage.
Oh, an E3 presence on the stage.
Yeah.
Okay. I was gonna say, I mean, they literally did that whole thing about the Switch on a stage.
No, Miyamoto has not been out on a stage presenting something like that in quite some time.
Yeah.
Thank you, Fong. Miyamoto had a gun. That's right.
He did, and he was somehow allowed into the theater. But, yeah, it's true. Reggie is the king.
Yeah,
I
and
agree.
that game's out soon. The game's out, in August? End of August?
August 29th, I want to say.
Damn. Yeah, that game looks so good. I hope there's a multiplayer aspect to it, but I still don't know if they showed anything, but
I don't know.
But if they don't, then it's not a deal breaker. It still looks great. It looks really big. It looks really for some reason they're all doing the Naruto run when they run. They're following a Roomba.
I think only what was it? Peach was only the Rabbid Peach. I think she was the only one who did the Naruto.
No, they all do it after a certain point. They kind of warm up to it a little bit, I think.
Oh well, but I mean they also follow a Roomba, which is kind of interesting. You are basically the Roomba saying, you guys are all with me, so I'm going to, steer you around. It's kind of weird, but, I guess it works.
It'll make sense in terms of the game, I think.
Yeah. But, it'll probably be like, hey, I was busy cleaning the kingdom. What? No.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so it looked really cool.
Yeah, it looks fantastic. I pre-ordered that one as well, so.
Nice.
Gimme.
Nice.
Assassin's Creed Origins, they showed a little bit here. They were smart, though. They're we already announced this game, so here's a quick little bit, and if you want to see more, we'll do a special stream after our main conference.
Well, I mean, as I said before, it looks great. Looks kind of cool, interesting with, the eagle. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it looks good.
Yeah. It's true to its name, Assassin's Creed Origins. This is the beginning of the Assassin's Brotherhood and the beginning of the Templar Knights and all that. So it's the earliest game in the timeline, quote unquote. Ancient Egypt. Looks beautiful. Looks great. Again, Ubisoft did. I think it was the smart move to take a year off the franchise and kind of revitalize it a bit. And they put a lot more RPG elements into it. It looked very much like The Witcher now, more so than Assassin's Creed a little bit. In terms of the enemy and the combat stuff, they changed it up a good amount. Mm-hmm. They showed off the Crew 2, which that's fine. The Crew 1 did very well. Crew 2 is good as well. And it's a driving game, so I'm not too into it.
I mean, it's kind of cool that you can have all those different other vehicles now. Or whatever.
Oh yeah, like the airplanes and the motorcycles and the boats and all that.
Yeah, so I mean, if you're into that stuff and you like that kind of game, then hey, you get even more.
Yeah. Just Dance 2018, they had a panda come out and some K-pop and some.
Yeah, I was a big fan of the K-pop,
some Mortal Kombat characters. It looked like.
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of tuned out of that part because I was like, I got to go back to work. But yeah.
Far Cry 5.
Right, that was the interesting political one.
Yeah,
that looked pretty compelling.
It looks really good.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have anything bad to say about it. I mean, it just looked very
like a
intriguing.
Great Far Cry 5 game. Yeah,
it looked real. I think that's the weird thing. There's so many games now that are so focused, story driven, focused with very similar combat. That's what I've noticed throughout this whole entire thing, especially Sony. Sony's always on that, but a lot of very hardcore story elements, and
we're seeing a trend where story sells the game now, or even if the gameplay's not that great, if you can get an emotional attachment to the player with the story, they usually look over the gameplay.
Which I usually don't overlook that, but I think this one looks pretty compelling, so I think this might be some exception to that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
They showed off a new game called Skull and Bones, which is a HD version of whatchamacallit.
I mean, to be fair, Black Flag was HD.
No, it's an HD version of Sea of Thieves.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Sea of Thieves is running at 240p.
Yeah.
No, but
on the new 4K Xbox One X.
Hey man, it's a system seller, but I mean. I think the name is pretty pathetic. I think I told this to you. I think it sounds. I think it really sounds like we want to make this game. It's going to be cool, and we want to give it a modern title where we don't want to try too hard. We'll make it kind of simple, and we'll just kind of be contemporary. And they're just what about Skull and Bones? Haha! No one's ever thought it. No.
I just don't like that. It's the guys from the Power Rangers.
I mean, I never watched Power Rangers, so I have no idea.
There's two characters in Power Rangers called Bulk and Skull.
Skull and Bones. That's not the same.
I know, but it's Skull and Bones and Bulk and Skull. That's immediately what I thought of.
Well, I don't know. They had a Seal song in it, apparently. Oh, I don't remember that. I don't know. Oh, actually, I think I was watching. Well, no, I think I had the sound.
Yeah, it was the epic sound, then the cannons crash and stuff like that.
Well, I mean, it looks cool if you like that stuff.
Well, for me,
I don't know.
The pirating stuff in Black Flag was the best part about Black Flag. So
I mean, I didn't even play Black Flag. So shut up. No, but I don't know. I mean, I guess it's good. I really don't know. It's not something I'm gonna buy.
I just gotta see what more there is too, because the reason why it works so well in Black Flag was when you got to an island, then you can go do an Assassin's Creed mission, and then you went back to boating. If it's nothing,
this game is though based on purely kind of that fighting mechanic with the different ships, right?
Yeah.
And in Black Flag, did you?
So basically,
I thought in Black Flag you kind of boarded the ship and then just started fighting everyone with Assassin's Creed mechanics. Is that what this game kind of was?
No, in Black Flag, you legit there was fast travel, but most of the travel was just by the boat from island to island, and on your way there you would see there is a ship
out in the distance or something.
Yeah, you would see a giant ship out in the distance. You would go there and you would fight the ship. There'd be storms, and you would sink the ship, and then you would steal all the loot on it. You could board the other ship. You could do all that stuff that they showed. It was very interactive. It was very cool.
I don't remember how much they really showed, on how, because they didn't really show a story mode. It was just
all they showed, it looked like they ripped it right out of Black Flag and didn't show much else. I need to see more, but it does have that issue where it could just be it's a fun multiplayer, play with the ship, and
that's the problem. Yeah, I mean, what people were also commented was that it looked like that whole trailer, it pretty much looked like there was no actual gameplay. It just looked like a nice cutscene. Or an intro cutscene, so it's in terms of getting to see the gameplay.
Was the entire...
we didn't see actual gameplay, so it's kind of up to the mystery. But if you like that genre, if that's really a genre, then
they got to show more. Did they give a release date for that one? That comes out Yeah, Skull and Bones isn't even out till holiday next year, so.
Yeah, I mean, so I guess we'll see, but,
but
let's hope it does not meet the same fate as Sea of Thieves.
Honestly, it might even get a name change.
Hey, I hope. But it was funny because actually in Twitch chat, I remember people were saying Sea of Thieves 2. So I was like, like they already improved upon the other one.
A lot of pirate stuff this year at E3.
I feel like people are finally watching One Piece. So, like, I'm excited about that.
Dude, if any of these games put in a One Piece mod where I can just be on the going merry.
Would you pay for that?
Yes. Ubisoft also showed off 2 new South Park games, The Fractured But Whole, which is one we knew about, but it is coming out this October.
And you love that, right?
Yeah, that's like absolutely love it. Fucking love it.
It doesn't do anything for me. It's just kind of cool to see, I guess. But
I just like that it's the South Park humor, which I love, and it uses the Paper Mario battle system. Where you hit A when you jump to make the jump, do more. Like, it uses that same system.
Oh, so you're talking about the actual good Paper Mario?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, not Sticker Star Plus.
Thank you.
And they also showed off a phone game called South Park Phone Destroyer. Looked funny. It's a card game on the phone, whatnot.
I might download it for kicks, but
yeah, I'm not too crazy about that one, but it's good to see it.
Yeah.
They showed off DLC for Steep, which, as I'm watching the conference, did that game even come out? Came out last December. Didn't even realize it came out.
No, people started typing, I think, in Twitch chat where it was Mario and Sonic at the Olympics because they were showing off Olympics version or something. I don't know. I guess people like that game. I really don't know. Or this is their last hurrah. I feel like that game didn't sell well.
I don't think it did either.
Because people love to say, as they're showing Steep, people love to say sleep, and they all do the Resident Sleeper thing.
Well, the big thing is it's also coming to the Switch this year as well, so.
Oh, I didn't even know about that. But, I mean, are you buying it then?
If it's $20. It looks like just SS.
That still sounds $19.99 too high.
It's still 1 penny. It still looks like when I first saw it, it looked like SSX Tricky without the fun stuff. It's
yeah,
this is a more realistic skiing game.
For people that like that game, I mean, sure. I mean, for me, I was never a fan of those games really, so I would just never even consider this. But hey, man, you got the Olympics coming in, I guess. So there you go.
Is that this year or next year?
Next year.
Next year.
But they're prepping. It's the road to the Olympics, man. You gotta,
Yeah. They showed a weird game where it's a spaceship game, and you build the spaceship as a toy, and it's that kind of.
Oh yeah, Skylanders.
Yeah, very similar to that.
What's interesting is that I thought that was sort of being phased out Skylander stuff.
It is. If you notice, there was no Skylanders at E3.
Right.
Disney Infinity is long gone. The Amiibo are still around, but they don't serve the same purpose that the Skylanders do or anything like that. So I think we are seeing a general move away from the Toys to Life market, but it's not going to go away completely.
I mean, it looks cool. I wouldn't buy it or play it.
With Total Biscuit said it basically is pay to win. If I go out and buy a better spaceship part, then GG.
Sort of.
Which is not cool, but
I mean, I don't know. It's a cool idea, I guess. Not for me.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Yeah. And then Ubisoft ended off their conference with the bombshell, probably the biggest bombshell at E3, honestly. Beyond Good and Evil 2. Have you played the original Beyond Good and Evil?
No.
So this meant nothing to you, did it?
Not at all.
All right. Well, Beyond Good and Evil 1 is a fantastic.
Is it a scary game?
No, not scary at all.
Oh.
No.
Sounds scary.
The original Beyond Good and Evil came back out in 2003. It is regarded as one of the best games ever. And the sequel has been long rumored. And Ubisoft always says it's in development. They never, for years they've been saying it, but never.
So essentially, this was the Shenmue of this.
This was the Shenmue of this year. That's exactly the best way of putting it, honestly.
Yeah, so people that love Shenmue were going crazy. I was like, what the heck is Shenmue? And I did not care. And people love this. I did not care. But, you know.
Only thing that made me a little bit upset that is it's a prequel. So it is a new game in the same universe, but it's taking place before the events of the first story, which I really wanted a sequel to the story. But
I mean,
did you like the trailer though? Like, did you find it interesting at all, or
talking? I mean, with all games like that, monkey? Like it looks interesting, but it wouldn't sell me. I don't know. I just don't have enough to say.
Okay, fair enough. But again, that game is gonna be a while out. But my God, I'm just happy they finally showed it off. And when the developer came out, he's like you got kind of like, again, the developers getting emotional this year was such a nice thing to see, because like, oh, these are people who care about their projects. This is like his baby that he's able to work on again. So it was good to see him come out.
Yeah, I heard that wrong. I was like, his baby, he's able to work. I'm like thinking of like, never mind. But yeah, I mean, but overall,
yeah,
I mean, you were like blown away by
I was very happy with Ubisoft, because every single game, like going on the list here, Assassin's Creed Origins, I want to play. Beyond Good and Evil 2, I want to play. Crew 2, I want to play. Far Cry 5, I want to play. Just Dance 2018, kick. Mario Rabbids Kingdom Battle, I want to play. Skull and Bones, I want to play. South Park, I want to play. Space Junkies and Starlink, don't care. Steep, if it's on the Switch, maybe I'll play it. Transference, I don't even know what that is. I don't care. Like, that's a lot of great games. And again, maybe it's the Nintendo aspect that I'm a little like, oh, this is great. First of all, it's great to see Ubisoft actually supporting Nintendo, because after they fucking like blew them off on the Switch, like, oh yeah, we made this brand new Rayman game for the launch of the Switch. JK, you're not selling enough Switches, we're gonna delay this to the consoles. Like, that was the dickest move on Ubisoft's part. But now to have like Ubisoft come to Nintendo like, hey, we made a brand new game with Rabbids and Mario, please.
Genius.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, the sad thing was the no Aisha Tyler.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, they didn't need it. Like, one thing that people mentioned with Ubisoft, it was like it was not a memey, jokey. It was a very like.
I mean, they literally just showed the games. They brought out the people who made the games, and it was like a serious thing.
And it worked.
I always think of Ubisoft as like the joking around one, where I'm like, these games suck, but haha.
That's how I usually think. That's how I usually think too. And they need Aisha Taylor to like smooth things over with an LOL. But like, this was like.
But she's great. So I was like, no, and then. I don't know, but then I was actually like, wait, this is actually pretty good. So.
I think there was too much on the line, especially because they were with Nintendo this year too. They couldn't have Aisha Tyler come out making like dick jokes or something like that. I don't know.
Wow.
No, because like, remember, like, she was talking about Girlwood last year over and over again.
Oh my God. I didn't remember that until just now. Okay.
I don't think you want Miyamoto out there. And Aisha Taylor, yo, that Mario Rabbids has some Girlwood right now. Like,
no, he'll just have Bill Trinan translate that.
What is Girlwood?
Oh man, but yeah, I mean, they did a good job.
Yeah,
and that was the only Bill Trinan sighting at a major conference. He was not even referenced in the Nintendo one. He wasn't even at their Treehouse stuff. He was literally, the man was only visible in an IGN interview for Odyssey.
I like how you had tracked him down. You had to know where he was just so you could hate on him.
No, I give him more credit. He realized, and now he stepped away from the spotlight. So I respect him. I gave him a lot of respect for this year's E3. I think he did the right thing, because I also saw in that IGN video, he's coming on in age. That IGN camera did not do him justice, probably, but the man had some interesting age signs. But
wow.
he's going. But yeah, that is all.
All right. Anything more you want to say about Ubisoft, or?
I'm done with Ubi.
Ubi was fantastic.
Ubi.
All right, Sony time. I'll let you just talk about Sony first. I'm going to rant.
All right, well, Sony. So Sony was the one where a lot of these, honestly, I didn't watch them live. This one was, again, one of the ones where I watched it the next morning, and I kind of was watching it, and then if it was a game that I didn't really care about, I'd maybe skip a little bit, see what else they were showing, kind of keep going. It was, sizable length of a conference. And showing a lot of games. Some DLC stuff, I guess. And yes, I know a lot of games, most of them aren't even out this year, which you take big offense to that. To me, it's not like a deal breaker, but it would be nicer if it's like, hey, it's coming out this holiday. But then when it's like, oh, when it's probably like holiday 2018, it's like, oh. But the games look kind of cool. I mean, again, it was like a lot of focus on these like story-driven kind of single player or even like maybe co-op something, but like I don't really play co-op stuff, and I don't know, single player stuff's okay, I guess, but like that usually like maybe I'll buy one of those, but the fact that you show off like a million of them, it's like but it looked okay. I thought the greatest thing, which was hilarious, was the Everybody Golfs game. Fong probably got a kick out of that game, but I thought
Golfs? I didn't even remember that.
What? Well, they at least showed it at their pre-show, and then they showed it again.
Oh, yeah, I didn't watch any of the pre-show stuff.
But, Fong, I'm hoping you saw that game. It was literally just like the Hot Shots Golf, but they now rebranded it to Everybody Golfs, because apparently that was like their new vision. And, gold? I don't know. Oh, you can literally, like, you play golf like regular, but you can also just apparently run around the golf course and start fishing in the different areas on the golf course. You can like race golf carts randomly, and you can like connect with people online. Like, it's bizarre. I don't. Well, they were actually showing it off as Everybody Golf, so I don't know. But yeah, it was that was probably the highlight for me, which maybe that speaks volumes, but I don't know. I mean, Sony never really sells me on games because they only have these single player nonsense, which I don't know. I'm big on the online multiplayer. Mm-hmm. Call of Duty looked nice though.
Yeah, COD looked okay.
I'm always biased, but I think every year it looks nice. So.
Honestly, though, COD looked worse than Battlefield 1.
Well, I don't like the way Battlefield 1 plays, like with the bigger open map and all this stuff. Like
I prefer that so much more than what COD does nowadays. I feel like COD, their last one, their in space one, was pretty cool. But for them to go back now to World War II, is it they're doing? Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't know. I
mean, well, that's been Call of Duty's history, where they have one forward-looking, one backward-looking, or one modern-looking, one backward-looking. Like, because at least I don't know if they still do it, but they used to switch off developers. So the way they
it still cycles between 3 developers.
Switching. So, I mean, it looked nice to me. But I mean, the games look fine. Like God of War looked cool, right? I mean, Spider-Man looked like a fun game.
Yeah, it looked great last year too.
So I'll let you go.
So Sony, I'm unabashedly in the past, I've just praised Sony for everything they've done. I feel like Sony for the last 3 or 4 years now, ever since like the console war with PS4 and Xbox One, they have been the best. Their conference is always very strong. Like usually the Sony conference is a 3-hour long, just like gush of just amazing gameplay and whatnot. This year their conference was just under an hour, or just over an hour. Like it was a quick conference, and everything they showed during the main conference itself was things that were either DLC coming out soon, remakes, yada yada, like stuff that we're not gonna like, stuff that they didn't have a bombshell. There was no Kingdom Hearts. Like we did get a Kingdom Hearts 3 trailer before E3, which I want to talk about a little bit later, but we didn't get like, there was no Final Fantasy drop. There was no here's the first gameplay of Shenmue. There was no
what happened to the oil guy?
Yeah, the what's his name?
Walking Dead oil baby.
Walking Dead oil. I'm blanking on his name. Metal Gear makes. No, not Inafune. What's
Kojima?
Kojima. There we go. Yeah, there was no Kojima there. There was no like. There was nothing big.
They put him back in Sony jail.
That's the thing. They're at this point now where they showed a bunch of games a couple years ago, like all these great concepts, and now they need to actually like buckle down and work on them and make them, and they're not ready yet. God of War looks fantastic. Not out till next year. They showed us last year though. Spider-Man looks fantastic. That's basically Spider-Man Arkham. Coming out next year. Looks amazing. Showed us it last year. Comes out next year. Uncharted Lost Legacy. Uncharted, great game, amazing. Lost Legacy is gonna be fun. Lost Legacy, there was a DLC that they're expanding upon now to make a full-fledged story. Comes out in August, which, okay, cool, but nothing new there. We saw that back in December at the Sony event. Horizon Zero Dawn: The Frozen Wild, which is DLC to Horizon Zero Dawn, which I haven't played yet, but my god, that game is apparently amazing. So that's cool.
I'm surprised you haven't played that yet. Don't you have it?
Yeah. Do I? I don't know, actually. No, I didn't buy it.
As part of your, like, 50 wrapped games that you have stacked. It
came out the same week as Breath of the Wild, so I think I held off just for that reason.
Yeah, it came out, like, 5 days before.
Yeah, so I haven't touched that at all. Days Gone, they showed it us last year. Looks okay. But again, not coming out after God knows how long. Detroit Becoming Human looks really good. David Cage game. Showed us it last year. Comes out maybe 2018, who knows. Again, not clear. Knack 2.
The sequel no one won.
Exactly.
Isn't that coming out this year?
Yeah, it comes out in September.
Haha.
But, like, no one wanted it.
Hey.
They're remaking Shadow of the Colossus. For what reason, I do not know. Shadow of the Colossus is a great game. It got an HD remake, too. This is a full-on, from the ground up, redoing everything remake, which is awesome. But, like, did anyone want that?
I think people were excited over it.
It looked cool, and like seeing like it like in the PS4 graphics and whatnot. Like it was just, okay, that looks pretty cool, but like it just doesn't. I don't know.
Well, see, now here's the thing: you're feeling the way I felt about Bethesda, but this is a bigger company, so you're very disappointed because you are the PS4 fanboy, and you're like, what happened?
But here's the thing: I love all these games. I'm like I've pre-ordered God of War. I pre-ordered Horizon. I pre-ordered not Horizon. Marvel Spider-Man. Like I pre-ordered like all these games I'm mentioning here.
But you're just upset that they're not coming out for still forever. Well, that's what it comes down to.
It's that, like, here's the thing: if they start off if they did it like their normal 3-hour show, and this was the first hour of their show, I would have been fine. If they like, yeah, we're still working on these games, so now it's next year, but this is what we're working on, and they finish off their show, like, this is what to expect in the next like 6 months that you're gonna get for the holiday. Like, what are these like? What?
Well, I mean, here's the counter argument to this. Nintendo does the reverse, where they, aside from I guess Metroid.
Well, no, they did the reverse this year. They know they had to put a very strong foot forward this year with the Switch, so they made sure there's a good Switch game out every month this year.
No, that's not what I'm getting at.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Metroid Prime 4 now it's like in development, but they like told you. But Breath of the Wild, they told us more or less, and then they really picked it up. But game like even like the Rabbids thing coming to the Switch, like there are certain games where like they'll be working on it for so long, and then it actually comes out, and it's like, wow, this is amazing. And like you have like Odyssey, they probably been working on for a while, and like really didn't tell
5
people.
years.
So like games like that. Nintendo does this, like, we'll probably keep you in the dark forever until it comes out, and then it'll be like, whoa, look at this, and everyone's like, oh my god. But Sony's taking the approach of like, we have this game, looks really cool, we love the idea, here it is, and the next year they're like, we're still working on it, but here's the update, looks really cool, we're excited, still working on it. Like, so it teases you a lot, which you don't like that, but at the same time, I kind of like that transparency over the Nintendo keep you in the dark. So it's hard to get mad at them like that if the game turns out really good.
I agree with the transparency, and
the God of War is probably going to be a really good game.
Oh, it's going to be phenomenal.
So you can't get too mad. Like, the thing is, though, you're like, I don't know, you have other things to play. Like, you have a Switch, so like you shouldn't be too mad at stuff like, oh, why isn't it out this year?
It's not like we're in a desert, like a gaming desert, and Sony was like the cloud that's like, please rain down the games, and they didn't.
Just let them do whatever. I'm telling you, they're like Apple. Like, they know people are gonna buy it, so they could just take their time. The ones that had to like actually do stuff actually did the stuff. Mm-hmm. Nintendo, Microsoft, those are two big ones. They had to show stuff, and they both really showed up. Yeah, and then it makes Sony look really bad in comparison.
It does,
but they have already the fan base. Though, in fairness, I think they lost some of their fan base a little bit because of like the lack of fancy, flashy new stuff every year. But like, people still love that stuff.
I'm well aware that Sony has another conference in December where they show off a lot of stuff, because they showed off a ton of stuff like back in December that wasn't shown at this E3. Like they what did they show during their Van for a second. I was gonna look something up.
Well, really cool game. Now thinking about it, I don't think I saw it shown off at any conference, but actually, apparently it was maybe shown off the Microsoft conference. But I saw a video IGN put up today with talking with the developer. There's a game called The Ooblets or something.
Yes. What is that?
That game looks really cool.
That looks amazing.
I watched it. It was like a 10-minute video of it, and it's literally like combined Pokemon, Harvest Moon, and Animal Crossing.
I'm so down for that.
You have a farm that you take care of. You can customize yourself and customize your own house like Animal Crossing. And you adventure like Pokemon RPG style, where you collect a team and they have moves and they level up, and certain things have different effects, and you keep going around and fighting things and your guys level up. So it actually looks pretty cool, but it's not coming until next year. And it's for Xbox One and PC right now. Mm-hmm. Could be more in the future, but that sounds pretty tempting.
Okay,
so it looks kind of cool.
So I pulled up Sony's last conference from last December, and at the conference, they showed off Death Stranding, which is the Kojima game, Gran Turismo Sport, Gravity Rush 2, Horizon Zero Dawn, Knack 2, Loco Roco, MLB The Show, Parappa the Rappa, Patapon, Last Guardian, Last was Part 2. Last was Part 2 wasn't even at the conference. Where was that? Where was Pyre?
Is that not out yet?
No, it's not. They showed the one trailer during the December event, and then it wasn't at E3. Not even mentioned at all. Ni no Kuni was shown off in the pre-show. Why couldn't you just put that in your normal show? Like, it felt like they were like trying to be conservative this year in terms of their presentation, because they knew they didn't have a lot. So it's like, let's do a little pre-show. Let's get these big titles out to keep them fresh in people's mind, and let's get out here before anyone notices. Like, hey, wait a minute, you guys aren't showing what you should be showing. And like they spent way too long on their VR stuff, which again they need to support their VR. I understand it, but like it's not working. It's not gonna like, you know what I mean?
Oh, I know what you mean. I was loving it because I was waiting for the moment for Sony to finally disappoint you. So once I saw it, I was like, yes.
You're just cruel tonight, aren't you?
No, I mean, we had a great time watching the Nintendo one.
Oh, dude, the Nintendo was so fucking good.
But the fact that, like, you're the Sony fanboy. You jumped on that bandwagon the second that thing came out.
You should have seen my face. I wish I recorded my face for that one. It's the exact opposite of what you want to see in a reaction video. It's me just staring stone face at the TV, like 2018. Okay, I nod slowly. 2018, nice. 2018, all right. Like it all looked good. God of War looks so good. Spider-Man looks so cool. These games look great, but Sony, why didn't you? Like, I'm just worried about them not going into the holiday season. Mm-hmm. They need to sell the PS4 Pro, and nothing here that, like, not only do they not have games that sold the PS4 Pro, there are no games that even sold a PS4. They're really gonna be pushing the Uncharted and the Last Guardian.
Last Guardian.
Yeah, which that came out over a year. Like, it's gonna be over a year then by the time holiday comes around.
Yeah. I don't
like they had like the Destiny 2 stuff, which that looks pretty good actually. I'm actually considering getting Destiny 2, even though I really did not like the first one at all. They announced Undertale coming to the PS4, which great. It's Undertale again, and it's a great game, but like not new.
It's not a system seller.
Bubsy, the Woolies Strike Back, coming to PS4.
The sequel everyone asked for.
The sequel, fucking 20 years in the making, or something like that.
I'm telling you, you're obligated to buy that.
Oh no, I'm gonna buy it, and we're gonna play the entire thing. But goddamn, it looks just like crap. It looks crap.
Hey man, it's HD.
They did show off Monster Hunter World though, which is not a Sony game at all, but that was shown off during their conference. I'm not a Monster Hunter fan. That looks great.
Looks cool. I would never play it, but yeah.
Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite game looks great. The models look really off though. Like
Fong would have to be the
Chun-Li looks weird.
I don't know.
What else did they show? I'm trying to give him something here.
He is the Bubsy King.
I am the Bubsy
King 01.
I have.
That's actually like, you know how he always makes Kind King 01 as like usernames?
Bubsy King 01.
Like that is his alternative username. Bubsy King 01.
Marvel vs. Capcom looks like cheeks.
Very disappointed.
Yeah, I am too, Fong.
See,
I don't know if
Fong's opinion on that means a lot because he's the fighting man.
Here's the thing: I don't know if I'm divided with the mechanics of the fighting mechanics, but the overall look and visuals, I'm very disappointed. You put 10K hours into Marvel vs. Capcom 3, yeah.
I'm not surprised. You're like a god at that game.
Yeah.
Jeez.
But again, Sony was like this E3. I feel like it was a very like middle of the road E3. Like we got good stuff. There's definitely good stuff here, but we were not blown away by the Shenmues or the Final Fantasies or the Kingdom Hearts and whatnot.
That's the thing. They set the bar too high, man.
Yeah. Well, I think it goes in a cycle. I think we had a couple good years of the hype. We had to go down to this lower pedigree, and next year it's going to be incredible because by this time next year, all these games should be out, like the 2018 games, for the most part, or at the very least coming out soon.
Well, I also really like this clip. It was posted. It's funny. Chun-Li thing.
Slayer.
But, Fong, you're definitely right. The Dragon Ball Z Fighter thing, like, that game looks so cool. Looks exactly like the style you play already with half these games. So, I mean, you're probably going to be, like, insane. And we talked about it before. I'm not sure if you were actually here when we were talking about it, but looks great. I'm definitely getting that probably for PC. So...
Just going down some games that we didn't cover in the conferences themselves. The new Shadow of Mordor game, Shadow of War.
Oh, that one looked pretty good.
That looks great. I busted, like, I laughed so hard when he took over that one bad guy. And, like, he was like, I will kill you. I'll kill you. And they got taken over. So how you doing there, Matt? Like, he kind of like...
Oh, I thought that was a little too scripted looking. I mean, it was all scripted, granted, but like it seemed too forced. Like I don't know, it was so obvious.
I thought it was funny.
It was so obvious where it was going that I didn't really appreciate it. But I mean, the first game was really cool. Did not play it enough to do it justice, but I actually bought it for literally like $1.70.
Quick mention, people out there, the Steam sale starts tomorrow, it seems. So
summer sale?
Yeah.
Oh baby.
I'm gonna splurge, I think, this year.
I would love if you could like let me know
when the deal
not even when the deal comes, but like what you bought or what you...
Oh yeah, I'll let you know when I find things I think.
Be like, yo, this game on sale for like $2. I just bought it. I love it. It's good. Like, I'll be like, oh,
it's called Bubsy 3D.
Hey man, I'll at least acknowledge.
Cuphead, we mentioned before, is finally coming out.
Yep, late September 29th.
Yep, they showed off a trailer for Kingdom Hearts 3 right before E3 started, but I was actually upstate for that. And there was another moment where, like, I'm freaking out. It happened late at night. I tagged Scott White in a post, like, dude, look at it.
Nice.
I'm going to a Kingdom Hearts conference, a concert this weekend.
Wait, I was like, there's literally a dedicated conference
for people
where they're inviting
PTSD.
Private Kingdom Hearts fans just to collude and, like... discuss.
No,
I'd be like, wow.
I'm going to a concert this weekend in New York, and they're going to show like new gameplay there too, probably, or like they're
like almost like a Zelda Symphony kind of deal.
It's exactly that. It's for the 15th anniversary.
Yeah, those are pretty cool.
And they announced that they're showing another Kingdom Hearts trailer, a new world. I think like next month.
So has this game actually gotten a release date? Like, nope, I don't remember where that's at.
Still no release date, but it's gonna be. It feels soon. Well, I shouldn't say that because Square came out and said it'll be within the next 3 years.
Okay.
So that can mean next year. It can mean 3 years from now.
Or 2020. Haha.
Yeah, but we're gonna get
2021.
We're getting our next trailer with the new world at D23 in July. So, which is the big Disney conference.
I didn't even know they had a conference.
Yep.
Okay.
D23.
I don't know. Well, whenever I hear like D something, now I'm thinking D1.
D1,
from that,
yeah.
from the thing. I swear that announcer every time would be like, the second he says a line, he has to bring it to the other one of those people, and he's like, "Yo, look at those punches, D1." And I'm like, "Stop." Yeah. I'm hoping Fong watched that because I thought that was hilarious. He must have liked that. But yeah. Anyway. So Sony.
Yeah, I'm pretty much done. Sorry, I'm just going through the list of games now that didn't quite fit into any of the conferences.
Sure.
Like they showed off more Sonic Forces and Sonic Mania. Both look great.
Yep.
Metal Gear Survive got delayed because lol, that game's trash.
Wow.
That's the freaking what Konami's doing, where they took Kojima's engine and now made a zombie Metal Gear game, and it's just like it's like an abomination of what the franchise is now. And
hey man, the kids love their zombies.
I don't know why.
I mean, I don't, but you know.
Do you want to talk Nintendo for a little bit to end off our show?
Yes. Oh, see, yeah, I knew you'd like D1 because he's a Smash guy. Yeah. They brought him on for those invitational things. So the part that like we didn't speak about for the Nintendo one was because
it was going on while we were.
So yeah, I mean, because Nintendo's always like a 3-day, 4-day event as opposed to like the other ones where it's like that's it, and then maybe some interviews and some gameplay. But like, I mean, they had those 3 invitational tournaments. We watched a bulk of the Splatoon one. Which kind of looked like like competitive Overwatch, where it's kind of hard to tell what's going on, even if you know what's going on, just because the camera angles and the way you play the game. But like, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't great. So it was kind of there. Kind of cool that isn't that the one where actually the U.S. won?
No. Splatoon 2. No.
Yeah, the U.S. won.
Did they?
Did you not watch the finals?
I thought they didn't come to.
You watched the ARMS one? Oh, well, while you do whatever, I believe they won. But the ARMS one was kind of interesting, but like some of those people were pretty bad. I don't know. Also, the guy that won totally trolled the developer, and then lost. The Pokken one. It was also just okay until the end, where the actual people that knew how to play were playing. Because like the Matt Pat and his wife, like I was like, why is this here? Like that was literally just me.
Because he's an influencer, he gets the views.
But like in terms of like actual like gameplay, whatnot for a tournament, like they literally had people that were in the pro scene of Pokken tournament, which I didn't really even know was a thing, and then these random people in the same tournament. Like I thought it was kind of a weird setup, but like I don't know. And yeah, ARMS doesn't seem like a very deep game, because I mean a lot of it is like ARMS say literally just wait for them to throw the punch and then you like do the stuff. But
then you can I think ARMS is a lot deeper than people are making it out to be. I think people are just like, oh, just a punching game, and like they're using like scum tactics right now to like kind of do it, but there's a lot more to that than meets the eye.
I mean, you can give us an update in the future, but I tend to agree with the Fong Master and Mr. Slayer. But I mean, it's there for some people. The Pokken one was kind of but finals were pretty interesting. I'm still just not good at those games, really. I mean, I'm okay, maybe. Depends. But
we got more information about things like Mario Odyssey, where apparently there's 30 to 50 moons per level.
Well, wait. I was still talking about the invitational stuff.
No one cares about that.
Yeah, they do. Wait, did you confirm that USA won?
No, I can't find it anywhere.
Well, they won. But because I literally watched it. Like, they put it up later, and I watched the grand finals.
How could they have won when Japan won like 4 out of the 5 things?
Because you don't. The way the tournament was, it was double elimination, so they were able to play again, got back in, and played them in the finals, and like US actually won. But
really, okay, I guess I didn't see that. I thought it was
there was a Pokken scene, but then they decided not. Yeah, I mean, well, I guess Pokken scene is back, sort of. But I mean, the invitation was kind of cool. The announcer guy was kind of but D1 was the man because he kept getting referenced for everything. Just like, whoa, look at that, D1, and then he like talks. But yeah, I do. You know, I always get jealous of those final prizes. Like, I'd love to have one of those prizes where it's like exclusive, like signed thing or whatever. I was like, oh man. But what's it called? So then moving on to their other part where the whole like treehouse shenanigans.
We're not going through each of the. I'm just we talked about this already. So
they announced some more stuff. So they had like the new Samus game for 3DS, the re-release / addition to the Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga, and past that they really didn't. I don't think they announced any other games though. Like there were less surprises.
Sushi Striker: The Way of the Sushido,
which that
they announced Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga plus Bowser's Minions, which we saw like as we were recording our live live podcast.
Yeah, I mean, but there wasn't that many reveals. I actually thought there'd be a lot more reveals randomly, but
well, we've gotten a lot of information coming out since E3 ended too. Like they confirmed that Metroid Prime 4 and Pokemon Switch are both coming out 2018. That's been confirmed.
Prime 4 2018.
That's confirmed.
That's interesting.
They talked about how there's 30 to 50 moons per level in Mario Odyssey. So we were saying like, he's getting the moons pretty fast. Like it looked like it was too easy.
It looked like only like 10 or something.
When there's 50 per level as opposed to the usual 10 to 12, that's a big deal. But it makes me worried about how many worlds there are then. Because like in Odyssey and Sunshine and 64, you have 10 stars per level, and then 150 stars. You have 15 levels.
I think this one looks like a solid like 5 worlds.
Well, so far we got New Donk City, the desert area, the forest area, the Nightmare Before Christmas area, and the food area.
That's 5 already.
That's 5 we've seen. So
I think those are the 5. Maybe like a bonus, like final boss, something or other. But like that's it.
Do you think that the dinosaur world is the same as the forest world?
No, I think that's different.
Okay, so then we have 6 now at this point.
All right. So I mean, like either way, I think with that many stars or moons or whatever, like there's gonna be a lot of depth, hopefully. Yeah. I mean, the gameplay looked pretty cool. They also showed off the co-op.
Yep.
Which it's like a glorified helper, like most of the recent Mario games. So
it's like the Starbit collector in a.
Yeah, so it's just like it's not really a 2-player game, but like if someone's sitting there and bored, it's like fine, I'll help you out. I don't know.
They showed off Ever Oasis, which comes out this week.
Oh, maybe closed up. Oh, maybe. Ever Oasis, lol. I mean, it looks good, I guess.
Comes out this Friday.
I mean, I'm not getting it.
Neither am I.
It's there, so yeah.
Yeah. Like
Matt Pat from Game Theory, by the way.
Nintendo had such a strong showing. Again, like I keep going back between Nintendo and Ubisoft back and forth, because we knew like our reactions in the video. Every time they showed something we already saw, we like face palmed a little bit.
Just because we knew it was limited to 25 minutes. Otherwise, it'd be like, okay.
Yeah, but like again, they put me at ease by saying we're getting a Switch Pokemon game. They gave us Metroid Prime 4, Superstar. Oh, and here's something interesting. Superstar Saga, it's using the original pixel animation, the exact same pixel animation, but they're putting different lighting effects on the pixels to make it look more like updated in 3D, which is kind of cool. I still don't like this. I wish they kept with the original pixels. The fact that it is the original pixel art, just highlighted differently. It's like, that's kind of cool. I don't know. I'm definitely.
I mean, I'm not buying it.
I'm definitely getting it because that's one of the best games ever.
I played it. I believe I beat it, or at least got close to beating it years ago, and that's fine for me.
The Bowser Minion stuff doesn't interest me at all, honestly. Like, I know why they're putting in there, like, oh, look, it's more for your buck, and you're gonna buy it, but come on, don't do it. In that exact language.
Probably. But yeah.
Yoshi still looks like crap to me.
I honestly, I think it looks better than I thought it did.
Upon further inspection, he's not made of yarn. He's made out of felt now.
Right. But
it still looks yarn-esque.
I respect it more that I've seen it more, but I'm not buying it. I don't usually buy Yoshi games though. I never bought Woolly World.
That Yoshi game just looks so early in development. Like it feels like it needs like a good year in the oven still.
Well, it's just the way they present it. It looks like a little kid cut out stuff, which it sells some people, but for me, like I feel like the depth is missing But I get it.
The Kirby.
But the thing is, basically, Kirby and Yoshi are the more kid-friendly ones. Mario's for like the everyone, could be very skilled, could not be, and then you have like the Zelda, Metroid, whatever. Those are more hardcore based. Like that's kind of the span of Nintendo games, and the Yoshi Kirby stuff, the more kiddie stuff, it just never sells me. Like
Kirby looks so good though.
I'm not buying it.
Game Explain put out their video today, like analyzing the Kirby trailer. There's a lot of shit we didn't pick up on there.
Yeah, but like just the gameplay of it, the way like it doesn't really sound like I'm not buying it.
But dude, you and me with our Switches playing Kirby together.
I'll pick up your Joy-Con. Like I'm not.
Well, hey now.
Hey man, but I just don't see myself investing in that at all. So sorry to say, those Kirby Yoshi franchises.
Slayer in the chat agrees with me. Kirby looks fucking amazing.
It's cool to see it on the Switch, nice graphics, but it's just not my type of game. That's the thing. Like I respect it. Like I think it's great for Nintendo to put that out. It's just not my type of game.
Mm-hmm.
So same with Yoshi.
Yeah.
But is this ranking time?
Yeah, I think so. So let's go from the best to the worst.
Okay.
Or should we? Let's go.
More suspenseful.
Yeah. So worst to whoever won E3.
Now, disclaimer though, because first of all, I'm assuming we're going to have a little bit different in our own rankings, but also take it with a grain of salt. We're very biased towards what we like and what we look forward to. So
yeah. The ones that are putting on glass here are EA, Microsoft, Bethesda, Ubisoft, Sony, Nintendo. I say we take away the PC gaming show, take away Devolver Digital and all that stuff. Let's keep with these main 6 and see what we get here.
Sounds good.
In your opinion, who was the worst?
Just getting up the list. Definitely Bethesda.
Okay.
Am I doing my whole list, or are you doing your last?
We'll go back and forth. In my opinion, I think EA was the worst at E3 this year.
Okay.
Who's your
Moving
second?
Up to number 5, right?
Yep.
I'd say EA.
I would say Bethesda.
Okay. Number 4, I would say, purely based on my own bias thing, I would say Sony.
I agree.
Wow. Number 3, I would say Microsoft.
I agree.
Now, this is the tough one for me. But due to my own very biased interest, Ubisoft number 2.
I agree.
Nintendo number 1.
I agree. So,
wow.
So besides just the EA and the Bethesda, you and me are pretty succinct this year, I think.
Wow.
That's the,
it really
that's
doesn't
the closest
happen.
we've ever been, I think.
Yeah, I don't think that really happens. Wow. I mean, and clearly we already have, like, different opinions in the chat. I mean, Fonk says everyone lost. Slayer wins himself. I mean, like, a lot of people had very mixed feelings. Like, that's always the thing. Like, this one I felt was more divided. Like, some people were still dead fast on the fact that, like, or steadfast, I don't know. But, like, that Sony won, doesn't matter. I don't care. I love Sony. Some people were like, wow, Nintendo really did a great job. Some people were like, Microsoft actually did a good job. I think they won this year. Like, so, kind of cool.
Well, that's the thing. There was no one thing that made any one company, like, blow everyone away. I think, like, the closest was Ubisoft announcing Beyond Good and Evil 2. That was the big, like, oh my god. That's why Ubisoft is above Microsoft and Sony in my mind, because they did, not only did they show a bunch of great games, but they had some big bombshells too.
Oh, I mean, I think overall they just did so much better than I expected them to do.
Yeah.
And I really liked Microsoft's, but I think in terms of pleasing my own biases a little more, I think I got to give it to them. But I really love Xbox and what they did and whatever. So for me, honestly, 1, 2, and 3 are a lot closer than probably past years.
Yes, agreed.
So
Thomas makes an interesting point in the chat. Do we really need a who won an electronic gaming show? We don't. That's the thing. Like, I feel like us saying who won E3, like, it does create like a negative kind of connotation to the entire event and what we're actually getting there and whatnot. But I think that we as consumers are responsible for holding the companies we support under some kind of scrutiny. Like, in no way are any of these companies bad. I'm not saying, oh yeah, this person lost. No one lost. At the end of the day, we all win. Just in terms of performance, Nintendo in our minds performed the strongest. Like, I can go back to the EA conference right now, look at it. I'm excited for the new Star Wars. I'm excited for A Way Out. I'm excited for Anthem. Like, these are all great games. They did not lose anything. They're not going to lose money. They're not going to, like, go under, and I don't think that they are bad people.
Yeah.
I saw, yeah. But no,
I mean, it all makes sense.
I saw a
That's
debate.
always the thing, always the kind message, the kind King 01 message that a lot of people say, like, that actually work for these companies or whatever. It's like, everyone wins. The gamers win. Well, it's all for the gamers. But it's true.
I saw a big debate this year. People saying, like winning E3 and whatnot. Like, again, like, there is no way to win E3, but there are, like... Again, you can, like, how do you win E3? Like, the most trailer views.
You impress people the most.
Exactly. So. And in my opinion, Nintendo impressed me the most this year. All the companies impressed me. The Xbox One X, the fact that small little thing with that cooling system and what it can do 4K, super impressive. All the games Sony showed, super impressive. I wish they were coming out sooner, but oh well. Like, I was impressed by every single conference. I was just not impressed by EA. I was impressed by EA the least. Capcom lost everything. Capcom would...
Wait, but to be fair, they make Monster Hunter.
Yeah, well, Capcom only showed Marvel vs. Capcom and Monster Hunter World. Hey, Rick Sanchez in the YouTube chat. Dub.
When they release Street Fighter V.
Vapor Chamber.
In the classic Twitch chat, like, capital letter space, capital... Oh my god, I love it. Thank you, Fong. But, I mean, overall, E3, a lot of people did feel more, like, subdued this year from reactions. But
I think just we knew everything that was coming. Like, even though we didn't know what Assassin's Creed Origins was going to be, we knew Assassin's Creed was coming. We knew, like the only games that came out of nowhere to us, really, were Metroid Prime 4.
Pokemon confirmed for Switch, though nothing more.
But here's something that was rumored, though. We were talking about Pokemon Stars a couple weeks ago.
Right. But... after the previous direct where everyone's hopes got shot down, it was like actually a nice surprise. But
yeah, but like going into E3, I was hoping, like, I hope they announced the Switch game like that. That was even my theory. They were holding it off for E3.
Right. And that's the thing. That's always the thing now with more technology and more leaks, and everyone's a journalist. You know, things are just bound to, you know,
heck,
I don't know.
Even Prime 4. No, we knew about Prime 4 going in too, because freaking Reggie and Retro were tweeting, like, remember I was talking about that? The Prime rig every week. Like, so we had an idea too. Like,
I mean, Reggie teased it. He was like, talk to me in a year.
Yeah.
And now they have 2 games. So
exactly. Stupid Final Fantasy VR fishing game. God fucking damn it, Sony.
But
overall, I think it was a decent E3. Nowhere near the hype of like the last 2 years, but I think you and me are gonna leave this year pleasantly happy.
I was thoroughly satisfied. I mean, the only other thing I wanted to talk about was literally as a result of this E3, I realized that I pre-ordered a lot of games. So I don't know about you, but like, I mean, granted, I'm very Nintendo based because I only have a Switch and not the other consoles. Granted, I have a PC, but I mean, I literally checked my thing now. I have pre-ordered Splatoon 2, the Sonic Mania, gonna be Sonic Forces whenever they put up a thing for that.
Yep.
Mario Rabbids, both Pokemon games for the 3DS, presumably the Switch one when they come out with a thing for that. Odyssey, Metroid Prime 4. I've literally reserved all of those. So, like, for me, this was actually like a very substantial E3. Like, they sold me on a lot of these things. I was like, yep. So it was good for me. I liked it. So
yeah, I'm checking out my orders right now because I just did all my pre-orders last night, I think. And in one go, I pre-ordered Pokken, Mario Rabbids, Mario Odyssey, Splatoon 2. Yeah, that was in terms of Nintendo stuff. That's what they had up when I checked. Yeah.
I mean, we did pretty well this year.
Yeah. Again, we won E3. We had a good time together watching the Nintendo stuff. Our React video did pretty well. Yeah, no, we had a good E3. It's been like a 3-week event for us at this point because we had the pre, the during, and now the after.
Yep.
Lots of good stuff.
We completed our trilogy.
And again, in less than a month from now, we're going to have a Nintendo Direct. So we'll have more
on
stuff.
Splatoon?
Probably, but I think just a direct in general also.
Oh. That's the problem. Like, I'm literally getting Splatoon 2, but it's, like, coming out, I think, like, 3 days before the bar exam or something.
Rip.
So, yeah, I mean, I'm not playing it. Not rip my bar exam. Rip Splatoon 2.
yes.
They'll be like, what were you doing this whole time? Yo, I had to get to that rank A. But
Yo, that Zapfish, though. I need to get that Zapfish. Dude, have you seen how cool the Salmon Run Horde mode is?
You know, it's funny. I actually missed that gameplay.
Dude, it looks so good. And
partially on purpose, but was it good?
Oh, it's amazing. And the Game Explain people were playing on the show floor. So you can change the difficulty anywhere from 5% to 100%. At 5%, they were struggling. It was that difficult.
I mean, to be fair, it was the Game Explain people.
No, but this is like a consensus I'm getting across the board, honestly. Like, it's like a good, challenging Horde mode, which I got really excited for that. All right. Well, anyone in the chat, is there anything you guys want to talk about before we sign off for the night? Any games that we missed? Any things that we didn't talk about?
Any Treehouse rants that you want me to discuss?
I am now fully on board with Josh. The Treehouse is awful.
Look at that. Look at that. The man was in pain watching Sam play Odyssey.
Like, I get it, but no.
I was loving it.
Again, I don't know whether to blame the Treehouse people themselves or Nintendo for, like, crushing their souls into what that was.
They localized it. Yeah, but, like, then they're forced to play it, and they're bad. Like, I can't.
Assassin's Creed and Mario Kart on the same day? Rip Assassin's Creed.
Do they? Oh, wow. Yeah, that is a rip.
Mario Odyssey is October.
October 27th.
Yeah.
It's not their job. Well, then hire people to play it.
Happy birthday to Kenneth.
Or have random people on the show floor. I don't know. Like, I'm telling you. And Sam doesn't know how to talk without whispering. That's all I'll say.
Blame the Council of Ricks.
He's like, hello, guys. Welcome to Nintendo Treehouse. We've got some great games for you today.
What's that
We've
called?
got Odyssey.
Wait, what's that called?
Oh, the stupid ASMR. Not to be confused with that...
AMR. Another mention.
The Samus remake. Yeah. But...
hey, guys. We're here at Nintendo, and... I have a Nintendo Switch with Mario Odyssey, and this is Cappy. He's
that's literally what they were doing. Like, well, that's what she does.
What I love about this game is you can play as Mario, and this is the first time you're playing as Mario on the Switch. And my name is Sam from the Treehouse.
Okay. Also, oh my God.
I'm sorry to people. I just like breathing the microphone.
I hope that's why they're funny. Maybe I'll give them credit for that, Fong, but. If they were the ones translating,
Treehouse does a great job putting a lot of like memes and stuff like that into the RPGs.
But oh boy, no,
Nate Beetledorf, I love him.
You know, he was not present at all at this one.
Yeah, but he gave us Smash Brawl, so.
But they were weird. They focused a lot on just girls only, almost. They had the Audrey. They had the Teresa was the new throw-in, which we had no idea who she was.
Yeah, she was just sitting there for a while. No Chica.
Then they had the other one. Then they had, of course, the dreaded Sam. It was weird because they relegated the guy Eric to only Splatoon.
Yeah.
And they relegated their two Asian guys to arms only. The JC and the other one. So really weird, but yeah.
Yeah. And that's E3, folks. That's all there is to all it's fit to print.
That's right.
We have a lot of good games coming up this year, which we'll talk about in our what we've been playing segments in the future, of course. I think the next big game for us coming out is going to be, is it Splatoon?
Yeah.
Well, for, Crash Bandicoot actually end this month for me. The Insane Trilogy collection for the PS4. I'm pretty hyped about that. But I think after that, Splatoon's the next big one.
He voices Shy Guy? No. Oh, wow. That's interesting. Fair enough. I'll give him credit.
What does a Shy Guy sound like?
Meow.
Someone clip that for me, please. Splatoon VR? Oh, I hope not.
I would prefer not.
Again, there was those rumors when the NX was still like in development that they'd make a headset where you could put the Switch in that headset for the VR.
Oh yeah, that's right. I remember that.
So,
yep.
But I think the industry as a whole is like kind of stepping back from VR. Like you saw, Microsoft was afraid to touch it too much. Sony was obligated to touch it, and Bethesda's like, we have nothing to show, so VR.
Oh, that one guy.
Yeah.
I always forget that guy's name.
I don't know.
The Lord of the Rings man.
Peter Jackson.
No. Yeah.
What does a female shy guy sound like?
Female shy guy? Same thing.
Wow.
Pretty much the same thing. I'm not doing the voice again. That was a one-time only treat.
Mario Daughtery. Odyssey. He said Daughtery.
What?
In the YouTube chat, someone tried saying Mario Odyssey VR and it came out Mario Daughtery.
Man, that autocorrect.
Yeah.
Working wonders.
All right, we're circling the drain now, but this is the last of our E3 coverage shows. Thank you for sticking with us for the last 3 weeks. If you've not seen our reaction video to the Nintendo conference, it's getting good reception. So
I'm shocked you haven't. It's been on the front page of YouTube.
It has not.
Well, granted, I'm also subscribed to the channel, so it's on the front page
so you
of my
get
YouTube.
it on your YouTube. We'll be back.
Oh, Fong asked a great closing question.
What?
So, Ken, as the fidget spinner aficionado, when is there going to be an official Mario one licensed by Nintendo and Hori?
Hopefully never.
Not the response Fong was wanting. But
I have my gold fidget spinner. I like it. They don't need to gum it up with like Mario and shit like that.
Oh, I bet they have.
Did you hear? Did I tell you the idea I have? I want to start doing. I want to buy a really high quality Mario cap and then get a printout of Mario's eyes and a mustache and start putting it on things in real life and taking pictures.
Oh my god!
Like put on a fire hydrant, take a picture. Put it like
I mean, you can do it. You can make a separate whole Instagram account.
Yeah, exactly right. Did you see that the Peach Rabbit has her own Instagram now?
No, I mean I believe it.
They took the old the Rabbit's Instagram from years ago that hasn't been used since, and now it's that Peach Rabbit's Instagram, and she's posting some really fucked up shit. It's really funny.
Nice, I like it.
Yeah.
You have a burgers fidget spinner. Why'd you even buy one? Oh my god.
They're really relaxing. They do a good job.
I guess.
Yeah.
But
anyway, our next show will be a normal show back to the traditional JK format.
But with a twist.
With what we've been playing, TVs and movies, news and talking points.
But with a twist.
I'm getting to that. Stop burying the lead.
Bud Light Lime. All right.
Go ahead.
No, you can go now. I'm done.
No, our next show, we should have our first guest on. We're going to try out the guest format. And if the guest format goes well, we will be having much more guests on the shows in the future. Cousin Thomas, a.k.a. Snap-on Tom 88 in the Twitch chat. He'll be our first guest. I don't know when we're recording that episode. It's going to be based around Josh's schedule, like it usually is, but
I control this show.
You do. Literally, we record. I can't say no. Like, and Josh's like, "Yo, I can record tonight." Okay, we're doing it.
I mean, the thing was for me, like today, especially, like I have a really busy end of the week coming up, and I realistically wouldn't even be free until next Wednesday to record. So I'm like, actually, at this point, we better do it tonight.
Yeah. So look forward to that in the future. I'm also teasing the revival of the 3-Star Dragon Ball Buddies podcast.
Right. Again, that hinges probably on me having time. But
exactly. That's a podcast. Well, I figured that it'll be me and Fong, and when you can make it kind of thing. Because I know me and Fong stay pretty up to date on it.
Honestly, that sounds fine to me. I mean, because literally, if you plan on doing it every week on every week's episode, I might not be free some weeks.
Yeah. But we are all officially caught up now with the anime, and I think there's enough DB Dragon Ball, like just stuff to talk about in general, where we can get that back going. Because the biggest thing was we died out in the beginning because we were rewatching 2 movies we had seen over the course of,
and then me and you were behind.
Yeah.
And then I was behind only. And now I finally caught up. So now it's like a whole culmination, you know?
Yep. So lots of stuff coming to the channel. I'm also working on a Dark Souls, Demon Souls, a new series with my buddy Tom Bianco from work. So that should be up in the next month or so too. I'm going to get back to streaming and like lots of good stuff coming up. This is the summer starts today. So yeah, lots of good stuff.
Hey man, looking forward to the content.
Yep.
And you guys can look forward to my content eventually. I mean, literally, I probably plan on utilizing some of this stuff. I mean, I've got like webcam and all that, and mic thing, and you still need to buy me that mic thing. But
I just need to see your desk because I need to buy a certain size to fit your desk, honestly. So take a picture of like the corner of your desk tonight, and I'll order tonight if you could.
But no, see, I will have content. That's the whole point. Also, I do have some content, some League highlights. I actually probably want to try. Like when I'm actually settled down, working, whatever, maybe try a few days a week, maybe actually like stream League or something, and maybe do something. I don't know. You'll see. You people will know. You'll get the scoop.
Yep. And thank you all once again for the live for the live show in the chat. We have Cybernetic Slayer, Geki Chopper, Mr. Pan 17, Snap on Tom 88, Fagwent, Gabby LRS. I'm like, is that Iris? Jacob is awesome, and Rotoplax90 in the Twitch chat, and in the YouTube chat right now we have Rick Sanchez, Wubdub, Nessaquat, and we also had earlier DJ Hannibal Royce was here, Brent Baker, Matt McDerm, and others. So thank you all so much for coming to the live shows. Ever since we started the live format, I think it's energized us a lot more on the content with the show. So we appreciate you guys being here. But of course, you can't make it. The episode will be up in the near future on the YouTube channel. And yeah. Anything else, Josh?
No.
All right. Thank you all for listening to the JK Podcast. This has been episode 47. I've been Ken O'Connor.
I'm Josh Brandon.
See you all in the next one. Bye-bye.